Well, I gotta make sure that it comes across when we go back live. Hey, Twitch is live.
Okay.
Facebook is now live.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, what I was trying to do is
Instagram is not live.
to hear her.
With the,
That's what I was trying to do.
Okay. Working hard over here.
Black.
How long is the delay before it shows up?
You want me to do it or you got it?
Oh, I got it. I'm re-entering the info for Instagram right now.
Okay.
Let me tell you, Jay, this has been more work than I've ever imagined it was gonna be. Like, I was like, you get on a Zoom call, you call your homies, and then like, boom, there's a podcast. That's it. It's not. It's hella not.
No.
That sounds like Bristol, though. A little bit. It's not good,
Let me try something.
Okay. I won't be live looking crazy. I mean, I do. That's what I do. But boom, we're back on Instagram. Boom.
Actually, here we go. I got this. I'm about to. Let me try something. It's time to find it, right?
Yeah. What up, Zach? Zach's already in the stream.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Zach. I was saying what up, but we were trying to.
We're like. Are we good?
Okay, this is also picking up the microphone on my computer.
Okay.
So
So did you cut your computer mic?
Yeah, I said my.
Okay. Jay, I can hear you. You can hear us.
Hold on, let me get back to Instagram, unmute this.
I mean, a little bit.
Huh?
A little bit. Oh, nice catch, buddy. That was better. My mic sounds
Is this
nice.
better, though?
Check one.
Is it better than before when I had the? Yeah, that's the whole room. All right. I'm gonna send a message to.
We sound great. We're fine. Let's get started.
All right, bet.
This is us.
Yeah, I know this us.
I'm not in theater.
See, Zach says there's a serious echo. Zach, we're trying to do like 7 different things at the same time, bro.
You are. Give me just a. Tell Zach he don't know what he's talking about.
Right, because we got.
Oh, you said we sound good now.
All right,
Thank you, bro.
Zach. You
Yeah.
gotta remember this is delay, man. All right, so
Damn, this is
15
better.
minutes into the stream.
Right.
Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for showing up. This is Couch Chat. I'm your host with the most from Oh shit, I'm on mute.
I'm your host with the most from coast to coast, who likes to toast, and I'm trying to roast people. Aaron Mazing. To my left, we have.
What up, though? Mr. AJ, Mr. 110.
Mr. 110. There we go.
In the comments. People, you already know what it is.
Comment Creek King. And joining us virtually, we have. Come on, you gotta get your own superlative today.
Who, me?
Yes!
The fantastically black Jay Boone.
Fantastically black. I like it. I feel like I got a snap.
Being black just ain't enough.
Exactly. You gotta.
Black is everything.
All right. So today's topic is using our hobbies to cope with the stresses of being black. It's not easy being a black person in America at any given time. Right now, I feel like more so, but at any given time. So we're gonna talk about how the fuck we deal with that.
Right.
Before that, we're gonna get into some quick topics.
Oh, quick topics.
We did intros. Intros are super easy right now.
Everybody knows who they are now. Who's spelling what? I guess is that what we started?
Oh yeah, promos. Before we start into the topics, Jay, got any promos?
Promos. Just to check out We Are Cussed on Instagram. I'm working on different pages, different ways to donate to the cause. And then just check and for any updates for anything, like we just I'm always at council meetings and different stuff like that, so just check back on that.
Most definitely. If you are cussed,
we are cussed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna grab it and try to put it in the
in the chat, yes. In just a moment, we'll have that live in the chat for you guys. For all you great people that are joining us. Again, Zach, thank you for letting us know that we had that ill echo on Facebook.
We should be good now. We should be good. Fingers crossed. All right.
We have our other guests coming in just a moment. Let's get back to our Zoom meeting for now. And Jay,
Yes.
have you caught Mortal Kombat yet?
Yes, I did. I watched it last night.
All right. Without giving us spoilers. How was it?
Okay.
You can spoil it, bro.
It was nostalgic, so I liked it. I think for me, it's almost on the same like wavelength as like Coming to America, where like it's like more nostalgic.
Been good?
Yeah, it's not bad. Like I don't think it's bad. Like right, you know, I feel like there's a place for it and a reason for it. But I think like the storyline, what I thought, what was I expecting, and what I got was just different. But I'm not saying I wasn't satisfied. I just thought it was different.
Okay. So,
but it was good.
Would you feel that you would have enjoyed it better if that was the original? Like you didn't have that like the original one to compare it to, like no nostalgia. Yeah, see, like, because people like the way they did Coming to America, they're like it wasn't good compared to the first one, but Coming to America 1 was a classic, bro. You stop putting things up against
right.
So like if you standalone, how did that held up against the original? How did you feel about it?
I think like graphics wise are like they've definitely come a long way. Sure. Even like the game, how it's come a long way. I think like the graphics in the movie were really good. I just thought the storyline just didn't have a lot to it. Like I like moments of it. I like the cinematography of it. I like things like that. But yeah, I think if I didn't have the original to kind of I guess wet the palate or whatever of like me wanting it and me not being a fan, I think you'll still find things in it. But I just think overall, if you're just worried about, you're thinking more storyline or more I like the characters and like whatever. I think they leave the cliffhanger it's open. You know what I mean? I just feel like it's open to more possibilities.
They could leave it hello before a sequel. So I didn't get a chance to watch it, but like it's okay for spoilers because Mortal Kombat is Mortal Kombat. I know how it is. Mortal Kombat all ends with an uppercut fatality, bro.
Right? Yeah.
It all ends the same way. It's perfectly fine.
So
Johnny Cage wasn't in it. Good. And I
okay, so that's my biggest issue with it. Like
I don't like Johnny Cage.
As a Sub-Zero fan, I was there for it.
Everything Sub-Zero did was what Sub-Zero was supposed to do.
Right.
He's the big bad, really. Shang Tsung is like Shang Tsung. Sub-Zero's the big bad. And it was great. Sub-Zero was great. Hanzo did great. I already know those actors from other stuff, so it's like I expect them to do great things, and they all succeeded. You know, shout out to Louis Tan.
Another person.
There we go, Nate.
Well,
Okay, now the party's complete. Nate, you're coming in. Just as we're talking about Mortal Kombat.
I didn't get mine.
You didn't get your what?
No, I was looking for Twitch. I'm sorry, I'm trying to just. So plugging people everywhere. Nate got something to plug.
Yeah, Nate. We'll be doing promos in just a second if he comes back.
Disrespectful.
I don't understand it, man. I try to be nice to people. Try to invite them on the virtual couch chats since I don't have enough couch space for more than like 3 folks.
It'd be like,
People just don't appreciate it, man.
right.
It's crashing, you know.
Damn, that's just frozen.
It's frozen. We're frozen.
It was on.
yeah, I'm just like frozen up there.
Yes. Okay.
But the beside you is moving, so I guess it's alright. I don't know.
Like it's just that. You know who's gonna be okay with getting this together. I got. Okay. If I stop the video on the Angelos. Oh shoot!
Did you kick her out?
Hello. I kicked Gail out.
What
up, Nate?
Technical difficulties.
What's going on? I'm
Chilling.
I was having some technical difficulties, but I'm here. What's going on, guys? How's everybody?
That's the theme of
But
night.
Jay, you're on your second laptop, right?
How's everyone's night going so far?
Yeah, I just dropped laptops.
We're doing alright, Dave. We're just trying to get
Yeah,
this
good.
off to a slow start. This is going to be a great game.
Yo, once we pick up speed though, roller coaster levels. It's gonna be great.
Wait
Hold
to your butts.
your
Wow.
Also, I hope no one spoil. If anyone's been watching Invincible, I hope no one spoils it for me because I haven't seen this week's episode yet.
We weren't talking about Invincible yet. Or at all, because I haven't seen any of it.
Me either.
It's on the list, but I'm gonna wait until it's finished.
Okay.
Because like, it's already something that I never read.
I was actually just upstairs. Oh, the comic is so visceral.
I heard. Her Omni-Man is everything Superman is supposed to be.
Oh, I think I know what was happening.
What was happening?
Get this shit out. I was minimizing it to keep it with OBS sight so I can see the screen.
Yeah.
I think that's why I was freezing her.
Okay. Well, I've removed you from your video from the meeting. Everything else seems to still be going fine. And
you just hit me.
all right, bet. So we're good.
That's fine. She'll pop up when she talks, right?
Yes.
Alternate out. Yeah, we're good. That's fine. I'm trying to get it.
So Nate,
You guys also, and it'll show your.
Yeah.
what did you think about the new Mortal Kombat movie? You saw it, right? Please.
I was actually just upstairs watching it with my mom and my 2 little brothers. They're in the middle of watching it right now. I enjoyed it for what it was. Like I said when I first saw the trailer, I was like, as long as it's violent as shit and the march and the choreography is on point, that's all I really need. I just need MK95 but R-rated. So that's essentially what I got.
This movie is mad, bro.
It's a good movie. The movie is
so disrespectful.
To me, the movie was good. I gave the movie a 7.5 out of 10.
So, same question to you that we asked Jay. Standalone, outside of nostalgia or basing it against the original Mortal Kombat, how do you feel about it? Like, if that was the only Mortal Kombat that you ever saw, how would you feel about it?
It's not Annihilation, so I definitely feel way better about that. So as far as like Annihilation will forever live in infamy in my mind. But this Mortal Kombat movie, I think really good. Very faithful, a lot of fan service in it, which I love.
Oh yeah.
So
I like that.
yeah, I just wish I could have gotten more Liu Kang because Liu Kang is my all-time favorite favorite Mortal Kombat character. I'm even wearing like a red bandana because that's how much of a Liu Kang stan I am. Liu Kang and Kenshi, but yeah, I enjoyed this movie. So had I seen this movie alone and not MK95 or Mortal Kombat Annihilation, I would have been fine with that. That being said, I do think that one movie that is probably better than this one is the animated Scorpion's Revenge movie that came out last year. Because that movie was so fucking fire.
I don't feel like that's fair. It's done by the people who do the DC movies. All the DC animated movies are great. That's like, you gotta grade that on the curve. It's great, but like, they made Aquaman great.
So violent. Mortal Kombat, like a rating curve for this one because I mean, given what they had to work with,
all the time, right?
I told you got to put your own camera on something.
We're not talking to D'Angelo unless he pops into one of these 30 different ways of recording.
Right. That's too all stream. Like, you don't count, bro.
Wait, hold on 1 second, guys. 1 second. Give me a second. I'll be right back.
All right.
We'll just talk to Jay.
I was popping out. Jay!
welcome back to the spotlight.
Like I said.
So, look at
delay.
So there are no more light topics. Like everything else is going to be like.
I mean, yeah,
more like.
Yeah, fair enough.
So we're going to go into Dogecoin, and then we'll go into the third topic, and then we'll just rock it off from there.
I'm rocking with Dogecoin for what it is, bro. Like, it is a quick hustle. I'm gonna wait till all the internet folk get that thing up like they did Bitcoin, and I'm gonna bow out early. I put like $3 in it. My $3 will be worth about $700,000.
I'm at 85 right now. I went in, and it dropped. It dropped. 420. I was looking at 115, and I was like, should I cash out? Nah, I'm gonna hold.
You should hold though, because
and that was down to $70, and I'm like,
I started following Elon Musk on Twitter because of how
Musk says something.
The moment that he stops talking about Dogecoin is the moment that you should be afraid. As long as he's pushing it,
it's going to keep running.
Right. But I mean, that's not to change the fact that he also made it you can buy a Tesla using Bitcoin. So like,
which is why I'm seeing so many Teslas in Virginia.
So all I'm saying is that like he's on the cryptocurrency wave, but he's not really like stagnant on Dogecoin. Like he kind of rocks with it, and he's doing his part to like pump it up. But that's pretty much it.
But Bezos is trying to move Dogecoin now. He's trying to get it as one of the official ways, methods of payment on Amazon. If Dogecoin comes to Amazon, we're out of here.
There's honestly better.
I'm buying my second house.
There's better forms of cryptocurrency besides Dogecoin, though. Even Bitcoin. Bitcoin just like Bitcoin's around for a while.
I think they already accept Bitcoin.
They do, but what I'm saying is that there's better ones than Bitcoin.
Yeah. Let me get started.
We got what?
We just completely love Janet conversation.
No, it's fine. I'm listening.
You gotta cut us off, man. We just keep going sometimes.
Yeah.
Are you into cryptocurrency? I guess.
I'm fascinated by it, but I don't have any of it. I'm still trying to figure out just the ins and outs of it. I think it's really fascinating how just how it took off. And I think like the new one, you can't even buy anything outside of like trading it with each other. I don't even think you can buy anything like in real like.
It's the biggest fake money ever. Like it's just all fake. It's all fake. But
all money and credit is fake, right?
You're right. Everything is fake. But at the same time, though, at least with money like dollars, it's corporeal. The crypto is intangible. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing really there.
When was the last time you got a corporeal paycheck?
Running out of time, bro.
What? Okay.
Okay. When was the last time you got a corporeal paycheck?
Yes.
Get a corporeal pay stub, bro. What are you talking about?
That's not the same. That's just telling you that you have the figment of X amount of dollars. You don't have that money.
You know who sends me a corporeal check?
Who?
Child support. They taking too much money, bro. They giving back. I done got about 7, 8, 9
My tax returns be real as shit.
About 10 checks for $12. Yeah, I was like, all right. Ain't worth cash them. That wait till they all jump together.
Right. We should still be displaying. This is all me on the computer stuff.
Yep.
So if you were going to, well, no, you already said you weren't. You were interested, but you weren't. What's his name?
It's like
D'Angelo.
Crypto was like.
Hobby.
Oh God, I don't understand this thing. Crypto's like
Yeah,
high school, bro. You gotta get a group fit in. Oh, you bottom? It's like incense.
It is incense. It's incense of a good time.
The way I had planned out the rotation,
Burn sage.
Did that incorrectly
I
there.
appreciate the inclusion, however, I will decline to partake. Until it's completely
I'm trying to
decriminalized at least.
Oh nah. $15 for. All right. Hey guys, so check this out. What we're gonna. I'm not being cheap. I don't feel like I need a Zoom license right now, and I know that I have one of my work companies. I just don't know which one. So we're gonna disconnect and reconnect in just a few minutes. In just a few monies.
So what we're gonna do is, I guess, while we disconnect and we talk amongst ourselves for a minute, our voice in the sky is gonna reset it up for everybody to join back in again.
Yes.
All right. Jay, we'll be back to you. We didn't forget about you.
We got 7 minutes with Jay right now. Yeah.
7 minutes.
7 minutes is shut up. 7 minutes we'll spend getting Jay's opinion about the
that's gonna take more than 7 minutes.
Yeah, that's gonna take.
That's gonna be so. And I told you when we started the stream that it's gonna be a whole thing. It's gonna be extremely polarized.
I'm expecting it to be though.
It's gonna take more than 7 minutes. What I don't want is supposed to get in the middle of it, and then her get cut off. And then, like, because when you get women extra time, bro, I'm automatically going to lose after that.
You're going to. It's time to get ourselves together and then we can go back in. That's it.
Oh, shit.
I was saying. Oh.
I don't need
Game
over. So we'll hop to that in a second. What do we have besides Dogecoin?
Besides Dogecoin, there was Mortal Kombat, and then there was actually jumping into our hobbies. I think this is a good time to start plugging things, though. Don't you guys?
Yeah.
Sorry, what did I miss, guys? Sorry, I'm on sibling duty.
Decided
to visit my mom today, and she's still recovering. So I decided to help out with my brothers.
What's good? Helping your mom. Watching your brothers.
I know. I'm a simp.
Dutiful son, right? Dutiful son, good. I give the best present.
I should just go to the store and get a pack. I should go to the store and get a bag of cigarettes for 10 years for like a solid decade.
Exactly.
I went to go get a pack of smokes. That was 10 years ago. Oh, damn.
The line was very long, and then they didn't even have my pack. I had to go to another store. Man,
why y'all bullshit? That's what my mother told me to do as soon as I turned 18.
All them niggas didn't have my menthols. All I had was Pall Mall.
Exactly. Smoking Newports? Get the hell out of here.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's so since we're on the topic, we got a few minutes, right? So like everybody smoked when they were younger, right? Like growing up, before you were allowed to smoke, right?
Yeah.
What was your preferred?
Oh,
cigarette?
Definitely.
I smoked it to see what it was like. I didn't like it then.
I did too, but it was just like, bro.
Yeah.
Mine were any of like the scattered roaches that my mom had left in the ashtray.
There we go. So, like I don't know, growing up,
That's the first.
my homeboy was a white dude, so like I was like, it was fucking like the Camel Crushes, bro. I was like smoke these, like the Camel Menthol. Is that who smokes those?
That's how I know about him.
I smoked Newports once.
Like, it was real bad because like I was so hell bent on being just like a nigga, right? But then like my homeboy,
Black and Miles, I fought through.
Right, smoking Black and Miles is the worst thing ever. And I fought through it. I was like,
first of all, Black and Miles smell way better than they taste. That's a fact.
Yes!
They smell fantastic.
They taste better than they smell.
Not at all.
Not
at all.
I smoked several blacks a day, which is sad to say, and they taste a lot.
They smell way better than they taste, bro. They smell like, I don't know, black cherry aromatics, bro. They're just fantastic. And then when you puff on it, you're like, this is not the same thing. The original Black and Miles.
yeah, we look.
And it tastes
What, child?
You weren't even around.
Right. Black and Miles just got new flavors yesterday, alright?
Black and Miles just got a mile. It's like,
They've been blacks.
I just smoked blacks.
it's for blacks, those miles.
A plastic tip.
I hate the boat.
I like how it was going on and James like smoking vices. Has not chimed in at all.
She
Can't be
part of this conversation.
Right, it's okay. It's okay. We all have our moments. We all have our vices. Also, vices are not a good hobby to help dealing with being black in America. I need to point that out. Like, I just need
I
to
feel like
point that out.
Boondocks kind of tried to convey that a little bit. I think Boondocks really tried to do that. They said, the only drug that'll solve your problem is weed. That's about it.
Is that what they said?
The granddad episode he was
That's basically
smoking.
what they did.
It's basically the only thing that kept him cool. That's bad.
I mean, I guess. I don't know. What do you guys? Do you guys have? First, let's start with. Do you guys have any vices? Jay, do you have any vices? Things that you know you shouldn't do, but you do anyway.
Oh, you gonna start with me on that?
Well, like ladies first. That's how that works.
No, God. My vices, I'm lame. I'm so, like I said, like what was Nate said, I'm a simp. My vice is like, oh, I got to sleep a little bit. Yes, like you know what I mean. Like it's so.
She played
it's
that
like
Amazon.
so reckless.
Yeah.
I'm not. My. I used to be so like live on the edge. I think I kind of got my fill a lot of times. But when you guys were talking about like the cigarettes and stuff, I remember like the crushes, and I remember like Cools. Newports, Newports.
Well, you gotta get what you can get. When you get your hands
They
on.
used to give them out. I'm aging myself, but they used to give them out at the clubs. So you could literally just like take your ID card and they would scan it and they'd give you like 2
I
packs.
have run into Newport people outside of clubs.
Yeah. So I was just like, I used to, man, all my friends that didn't smoke and everything, I just like, I'd walk away whenever we went out with like 8 packs of cigarettes, and I was just like, yes.
Got a foreign ass.
Literally, but it was just like, yeah, I'm still glad I
Dumping
stopped though.
cigarettes
I
on
have
every
vape
pocket.
now, but yeah, I'm glad I stopped.
That's what she got on the posters. Those are all from the Cools, like the sweepstakes.
Oh yeah,
You get the Cools points.
Oh, yeah.
I used to be an
Essentially everything behind.
alcoholic, so that was mostly my vice. I used to drink a lot.
Right.
Like I used to be like an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Now I just I used to drink it was so bad. Like it was so bad to the point that even now I can't even really get drunk because I've kind of developed a high tolerance, like a really high tolerance.
That's like a direct challenge.
Oh, sweet. That's a bet. We could do that.
Professional.
We can have like a Zoom. We can have a Zoom drink off, or we can do it with as for the after party, for the Titans after party when we're done filming. Like on set, we'll just get shit faced and like just do drunken fighting.
Don't do that and embarrass yourself in front of all the Titans. I got high liver.
I get this. You go down, cyborg.
I'm not even gonna lie. I'm only part of this like this Titans thing.
Fucking fighting shit.
Oh, cut him off. Was that our 7 minutes in heaven?
That was our 7 minutes. Yo,
How unceremonious.
Calchet. That was rude as shit. They didn't even give us a countdown or anything.
It's just we told you once.
Bitch, I said 7 minutes. You should have been watching.
Cut their asses off.
Yeah, man. That I ain't like that.
You don't drink. Get these niggas out of
here. we not drinking. This is house chat. We not
drinking. Y'all niggas on the wrong show.
Drop that shit.
Get their asses up out of here.
Stop this goddamn meeting right now.
This is unhealthy.
789.
I guess you gotta get a new one.
What? 789. What?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's just me on the chat with the couch. What up, famo? Slide in.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, but so yeah, man, like just growing up, I guess I was just like so badly wanted to be a nigga, right? Like I would smoke like the cools, and I'd say she's like, not enough fiberglass.
I'm gonna have to stop it right there for security purposes. We're gonna meet the stream so they don't hear me.
They don't. Shut up.
Alright, well, audio's back up.
This is all I got.
If you wanna.
Alright, are you back in?
No, I need the code again.
Okay. New code, same code. That is 354 082 0974. Continue without audio because we weren't using the audio from my computer. We were using the audio from the microphone, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, actually, you may need to continue.
No.
Audio
Yeah, so they can hear me.
Yeah.
Right.
I mute myself in the chat so it doesn't open up.
Man, I forgot that we were recording, and I went back into the Duran Bernard song. That's a fucking song. I had hands up and everything, dog. Yes. This is rough. AJ's falling down the stairs. Oh man, that was almost great, man. That was almost real comedy, dog. We don't. You and your own out there. Out here, you're out here in these streets.
We don't even get dental, son.
Right. Can I get an FSA card off of this?
Nah, it's just...
I'm asking too much about it.
Alright! You lucky we put you on the... Oh!
If anybody from HIPAA is listening, we work in hazardous conditions.
If anybody from HIPAA is listening... Honey, Warlock?
That's me still, buddy. You ain't got it.
I know that's you. I'm thinking. Because they were posting somebody's fucking... Somebody's,
What kind of loser is just plugging other people's shit? It's me. It's me.
It's great. It's great. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Alright, so Couch Chat, we're back.
What up,
soon
Chat
we'll be
Chat?
getting into our more official topics. We are going to get our first thoughts and feelings on the Micaiah Bryant slaying, and then we're going to segue smoothly into talking about how we're using our hobbies to stave off the horrors of white supremacy.
Oh, okay. So like I said, man, like I don't know. I'm not trying to go first because
No, you're not.
I told y'all. I already know that I'm already extremely polarized as from what y'all can see anyway. But my views don't ever really match up, and it's okay because my views are my views. But I'm super pro-black, so I don't really like. It's always good.
It's good that it's never anti-black stuff, but we do often come to a head about our disagreements.
Right. And it's anybody knows I'm super pro-black. But at the same time, though, I'm all about common, like some things that we have to do ourselves. That's how I agree. I think there's a lot of accountability that gets missed in certain situations, and this is one of those situations.
Okay, I can agree with that. I can agree with that because I definitely feel like there are a lot of places where this situation should have been handled before the police even got involved.
So at this point right now, I'm gonna say I don't really want to hear from anybody who didn't watch the video and is just going off of what they heard or what they saw somebody else say on the internet. I didn't speak on the George Floyd one because I couldn't watch 10 minutes of that man getting killed. So I never watched it. So I never made any real conversation about the situation. I did an overview of like the situation itself was fucked up, but I never had a full in-depth conversation because I couldn't watch that shit for 9.5 minutes. I could not. So I never did that. But I watched this one because somehow it got sent to me, and I ended up watching. I don't normally like watching shit like that because, you know, I don't like hating white people, but then you just feel like sometimes you gotta hate white people.
Yo, bro, I stay away from several important black movies for that reason. Because you know me, I'm only holding on by a few threads.
Right.
Like, if I get too amped up off one of these,
Rosewood scarred me as a child, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, oh my gosh, I was in the house something the other day, right? And my girlfriend was like, yeah, let's watch 10 Years a Slave. Like, I've already seen that once. You only gotta watch that shit one time.
You don't need to like indulge in these things again and again.
Like, this ain't a sexy movie, baby. We can't cuddle while we watch this because I'm upset. I'm tight like this.
I'm furious right now. I want to burn down the whole establishment. You're trying to put your ass on my head. I'm not feeling it right now.
I'm over here curling pillows in my hand like this is rapping shit. Like motherfuckers. Like, you can't even have nobody bring DoorDash because I'm pretty sure they're gonna be white and I'm gonna cuss them out. So like it was just certain situations where it's just like I don't want it to continuously put myself through that. And I get that like it's a thing, but like knowing me and knowing my mental state, knowing me, I just always can't do it. You know.
Okay, so why is it a thing for black people to have to watch the suffering of other black people? I don't feel like I see that in other cultures as much as I see it in our culture.
So I had a thought the other day about the same, like a similar situation, and it's really because the world, like not even just just the world in general, it always takes specific portions of every different culture and makes that the norm. So success is what they show white people, and that becomes the norm. So a lot of times when they show white people, it's in a successful area or in a area of positive. So that's what people assume is the norm for them. You don't ever like it's only within our community where we actually get to see like white people being trailer trash white people. Like,
right.
But
like you said, it's in our community. We have to physically be like, oh shit, over there.
So for black people, the norm is the negative. Like we'll only see people doing negative things or negative situations because that's what they want to see. That's what is portrayed of us. Right. So that's how people will perceive us. And that's what's always put out there. Like you don't ever see like you know how rare it is to see like good father shit in black communities on the internet. When all I know is good dads, bro. Like I don't know any deadbeats. Everybody I know
these deadbeats. All these bad black dads that y'all like.
Who y'all having kids with? Because all my niggas, they got their kids right now. Ask anybody. Like my kids are normally here with me. I don't go anywhere without them.
All my niggas kids know me on a first name basis.
Right. Kids are always with me.
Shut up, you dirty.
And then there's one.
I left him in a towel.
All of D'Angelo's kids are on a sock. Shit the bed.
It's the stiffest tube sock you ever seen. That should stand up without a foot in it.
Is it starched? Not at all.
I don't know how this happened, but your sock's pregnant.
Right. That's how you get baby booties.
That was quality. That was quality shit.
That's where this comes from, right?
If we had a commercial for tonight's episode, I'm definitely get a commercial.
That's not where baby booties come from?
Gerber was a sponsor.
All right,
cut
these niggas.
That's it.
Hey,
right.
If we get big enough, Gerber can be a sponsor. It's free baby shit.
Hey, look, bro.
No, we get big enough.
I'm going to Tia and Samara Mowry trying to get them to sponsor me on some shit.
Bro, y'all be thinking
Twins?
I told you, Rangers gonna be our first. What's the name? We're gonna approach them like, dog.
Right, you gotta approach black people who got money, but then like people don't remember that they got money. Like Russell Simmons' daughters, they shoot that went out of style. Ice cream.
Yeah, pastries. There we go.
Man. Shout out to the pastries.
Oh man.
Put some in the size 15. I throw these bitches on right now. Like you gotta Shaq.
Like, we will make Shaq food the official game of House Shaq.
You think I won't? Y'all can hate on Shaq, yo.
With quickness.
Shaq did everything, bro.
You don't know who the legend of Shaq who?
See, now you're showing your age for real, bro. You gotta sit back at the computer and do like what years? He's not even millennial. What is he?
Whatever they
Post
call it.
millennial shit, yo. But this is the computer. Yo.
Supposed to be
Put
right.
this shit on TikTok.
What year? What's your year?
96.
Whatever, man. You don't know Shaq, so you don't count.
Dead ass think the cutoff is 95. Like, not even trying to be funny.
95. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. You're whatever the fuck.
It's called. You're whatever the fuck.
They call millennials, but y'all not really millennials. We millennials.
I never got that either. Like,
I'm
loving
hobbies.
people in the groups. So I just,
Fuck both of y'all.
Don't be mad at us. Be mad at American society, dog. That's what we doing today.
yeah, we're still echoey, bro.
We must be echoey again.
Yeah, we are. I think we get. I don't even know that.
All right, hold on. Let us fix this.
Please.
Well, nobody's joined back in on Zoom, so I could probably go ahead and close it if I get 5 more minutes of no one.
Right.
I don't know. Did you tell them it's back open?
I did.
Do they still have the code and stuff?
Hey, he's up to him.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, which one was muted before? It was his mic that was muted, right?
Yeah, I've already got my stuff muted the same way I had it.
Then why is it echoing again?
I don't know. I just muted the.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if I mute the computer, then they can't hear.
They can't hear
Our Zoom meeting person can't hear us.
Right.
But nobody's in the
It's
meeting
not
right now.
echoing no more now.
Well, that's because he muted on this end.
Nobody's in the meeting anymore.
Right, so it's fine. It's all good.
Yeah. So for the guests we did have, they're great, and we started late, so
Fair enough, right?
we're probably not going to get them back. I
Thanks,
appreciate
Nate.
y'all if y'all do come back, but I understand.
Nate's got to take care of his siblings. Jay's got to continue to be, what was it, terrifically black, amazingly black. Insert adjectively
Was it
black.
fantastically bad?
Fantastically black. That's why we keep you
Jay out
around.
here
She-
being fantastically
Tiff, the
black.
court stenographer, she remember all that shit, bro. Like, so keep her around, folks. 'Cause I don't remember what it was.
Tiff is so crucial to every plan to have going forward. Like,
Right, you don't
I
give
have
her.
that purse that every
That
if I
purse?
if that
Yeah,
if
you're
a
his
purse
purse.
was a person that has everything
No,
a
what?
woman
Isn't that-
needs or anybody needs in it, I'm the purse.
isn't that a gay thing?
The man first. Well, as long as she's got one and you don't.
She's
I'm
saying
calling me the purse.
Remember, it's
Because
like
I'm a
always
man,
that
I shouldn't have a
one
purse.
auntie
It's fine
All right.
if your purse is a pussy.
that always got everything you need in their bag.
That's a
Isn't
grandma.
that, no,
She's
isn't
a,
that the thing?
bag
Like,
that
she's a
always-
grandma.
they say for download dudes, like, no, that's his beard.
What?
The chick is your beard. If you're faking,
Oh, yeah.
that's what I was thinking about.
I was like, what
Be my
disrespect
purse,
the
baby.
beard? Be my purse, baby. Like, what? Shout out to my purse at work. Like, is every dude's woman his purse?
we're going, yeah, dog.
I mean,
I am so
like,
That's where all my important stuff is. Right
Right.
over there.
shout out to my tote bag at work. Like, I don't,
Exactly. That's where all my important stuff is.
right. Okay, so back on topic. So,
yeah, we don't have nobody in the Zoom meeting. It's been 5 minutes since I opened it back up. At 11 exactly, we're gonna shutter that joint.
yep. So, I guess we can go ahead and jump to the next topic. So, well, we were talking about the Ma'Khia Bryant thing, right? Bryant. So, what are your takes on it?
Okay, so I feel like the fact that
Shut that shit up. right? This is just for comments, yo. Ain't nobody trying to talk to y'all.
Your whole ass.
So I feel like I'm gonna get beat up right along with you, right?
That's fine.
The thing.
Yep.
From the officer's point of view.
What up, Ed? But continue.
You said no?
No, I said what up, Ed, because he was like undeniably black. I'll accept that. I don't know. I don't know.
Cuss joined us on what's the name? All right, cool. She's watching at least. Yeah.
What up, Cuspy Cream? Sorry. Me.
I feel like I feel like the
Are we frozen?
No. I paused the stream. I feel like the officer, from what he understood, reacted the way he was supposed to. And that's also a shitty thing because that's not how he should be trained. Why is that how they were trained?
Here goes the thing, right? I feel like more training is necessary, but given the information that he had from the time that he pulled up to the time where the situation occurred, he did what he felt was right. And I can't say that he was wrong technically, because of if you pull, like, he was the last officer to show up, right? Last officer to show up. The first thing you see when you pull up is one girl chasing another girl out of the house with a knife. So, all right, now we have an immediate aggressor. I have no idea who made the call, but when I get here, she is the immediate aggressor.
I have a call about somebody being
threatening somebody
in fear of their life. And
right. So I show up and I have an immediate aggressor. And I see her assault one woman. And then she turns around and it's off camera, so I don't know if the girl in the pink actually like grabbed her or whatever the case is, but by the time he turns to her, she's got old girl pushed against the side of a car with nowhere to go, and she's got her arm pulled back. At that point, he has to defend a life. Because he doesn't with the situation that he knows, he has to defend a life. So he does what he feels he has to do to defend a life. Now, context of everything else that was going on and why those girls were there in the first place, as far as he knew up until that point, he did what he thought he was supposed to. I can't say anything about the training before that.
Okay.
Because
that's where I run into a problem. Like,
but here's the thing. Okay, go ahead.
The same training that he had,
yeah,
is the same training that officers had when they took down Dylan Roof. Is the same training that officers had when they took down that old white guy who was waving a knife at them in, what was that, Wisconsin? It's the same training that they had when they took down the shooter in Arizona. Like,
wait, Tom, we literally just saw the story about the old guy who is in court wearing blackface because he stabbed someone.
He stabbed somebody on the freeway.
Yeah.
He was able to go to court and make a fucking ass of himself by wearing blackface.
This is my thing with those situations. All of them, except for the one with the white guy waving the knife at him, Dylan Roof was no longer an aggressor. So therefore, and that's the thing. And people got to realize.
But he was no longer an aggressor because
everybody was dead. But that's
because he knows that the cops weren't going to fucking kill him because he was white. He was no longer an aggressor because he knew he was safe.
It doesn't matter.
It does because
the point is, like, see, that's the thing. Like,
because as a cop, going into a heated situation with black people, they're going to feel unsafe. So you have to make a split-second decision. But going into a heated situation with white people, the cavalry's here, so everybody's relaxed. So you don't have to make that split-second decision.
So let me ask you a question.
Don't end.
Let me ask you a question. If it was you, right, and you took an extra second, right, mind you, she's already got the knife pulled back. Say you did switch to your taser, and you tase her, and it does absolutely nothing, and then old girl still gets stabbed. Now that's on you too.
Entirely.
So what do you do in that situation? Whose life do you preserve? Like that. This is what I'm saying. This is why the fact that he was the last cop to show up.
There we go. Now we're live.
And the first cop to act. Were we not live before?
We were live, but I was seeing old version of it.
All right, that's fine. So the fact that he was the last cop to show up, according to the video, but the first cop to act, says something to me about the way the rest of the cops were acting. Like, the whole situation made, like, it was very little sense. Which is why I feel like there needs to be more training beforehand
and then for sure more training after. Because the fact that they were attempting to do CPR or somebody who got shot.
Exactly. That clearly shows that this is a badly trained,
for sure,
police force.
For sure. I feel like at that point it was like, well, we got to do something.
But I think at that point, or I think at this point now, we need to. I think if we're going to look at pressing charges, and we're going to look at
I don't think
moving forward, I think that somebody higher in command should be charged with negligence, because I feel like the fact that those officers were so savagely undertrained that they were trying to do chest compressions for a fucking gunshot wound shows that the lack of training is rampant. It's not just lack of firearms training or lack of de-escalation.
Yeah.
This is lack of basic first aid.
But at the same time,
I'm bleeding out here.
At the same time, this is what I feel like. Like, if you get that call, because I just had the same conversation on the way here. If you get a call as a 911 operator, and it says, hey, somebody is physically assaulting me, right? At this point, not only do you alert the cops, but there is the capacity for bodily harm to another human being.
EMTs should have been there.
At the same time. They should have got there at the same time, if not sooner. Because this dude was the last dude there.
Exactly.
So
this means that the other officers were already there and already made their decisions on what they were going to or not going to do.
But let's talk about the entire video from start to finish. We're going to talk about it, right?
Okay.
So you pull up, you see, when the guy comes out, you see the officer get out of the car, right? Now, he gets out, people are standing around. 1 second later, two girls come running towards.
He didn't even get a chance to get like
right.
a briefing. So
any
other officer.
So at that point, like I'm not defending him. I'm not gonna defend him because that's not my job. But we're gonna take the video for what it was in every single aspect, and then we can break down who needs more training and at what point was it somebody else's duty to handle that situation.
Okay, that's fair.
So right, so. Dude comes in, because I've watched the video several times. Several times I watched it. I hated watching it, but I watched it because it was something I had to talk about.
I watched it once and
no. See, this is why I knew it was gonna be a thing.
The
that we
rage,
talked about.
man, the rage. I couldn't.
I was ready to be full of rage, and then 2 seconds into the video, before she got shot, I was already mad, but not at the officer. But so we're gonna talk about all the way through.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about it. So bow, boom, bow. Officer pulls up. A second later, two females run out of the house. One of them trips and falls. Right. So now you obviously know who is the aggressor. Is the person
based on what you see.
Based on what you see an aggressor coming at somebody with a knife.
Oh shit! I need to save
and
this
a person who's
who...
falling. Right. So now you come in, you see a person who has a potentially deadly weapon in hand. When somebody already has a potentially deadly weapon, your job is to stop that potentially deadly person. So he goes for his gun.
Job is to stop that Your job is to stop that potentially deadly weapon. And that's where a lot of the problem comes in,
right? Because
it becomes headshot immediately.
But but it wasn't a headshot. I mean, he shot her in the back, but it's shoot to kill is what the problem is, right? So, and I get that what they were saying because I heard the police talking about, like if you shoot the wound, you run the capacity of missing. They were really close together, yada yada yada. I don't care about none of that. We'll get to that in a second. So, boom, old girl falls. You see him look towards them, and you see the girl in the pink. She goes off of camera, and then you see. Makai turn around to go towards the female in pink. Now I don't know if the female in pink tried to stop her from attacking her friend, her compadre, whoever that was for her. So I don't know if she assaulted her again in the process, or did she just turn around full of rage to attack her?
I don't. I feel like
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I feel like based on the story, it's safe to assume that she got attacked and that she went after.
It is safe, but we're not working off.
We're going off the story.
So before he turns away, what you see is. There's two people standing to the side. The entire situation going on, there's two people, a part of the community, who are standing to the side, right? The gentleman who is standing over there attempts to kick the girl in the head. The girl he attempts to kick her in the head, regardless of the fact that she comes running out with a knife. Regardless that you just watch her try to stab her. Regardless of the fact that there's cops everywhere, this dude decides that he is going to attempt to kick this girl in the head.
Now there's a different person needs to be stopped as well.
Doesn't even matter. Because nobody pays this nigga any attention. And that's shit that pisses me off. But we'll get to that too. That's the part that immediately made me upset. It immediately made me upset because one, you just tried to kick a female. Two, she ain't nothing to fucking do with you.
Like you were just...
If you could intervene to kick her in the head...
You could have intervened
to fucking stop it!
Exactly.
And that's my whole thing. That's the thing that made me mad. And that's why I don't feel it's all on that cop. Because there was a fucking community watching.
Everybody was outside.
There was a community
watching it happen. There was a community watching her be abused. There was a community watching her be assaulted. And nobody wanted to say anything. Nobody did anything to stop it.
Anything to stop.
So she does what she feels she has to do to defend herself. And that she goes and gets a weapon. Natural reaction.
Which is fair when you're outnumbered.
Which is fair. But the moment that she goes from defending herself to fighting back and attacking, she becomes the aggressor in the cop's eyes. And therefore now she's the one who needs to be stopped. And that's problematic, because if they had never let it get that situation, you got people watching, you people standing around outside. I guarantee those other motherfuckers
everybody knows
recording this shit. You know
everybody knows the situation. So you can't tell me everybody was out there and nobody knows, oh, these 4 or 5 fucking women are trying to jump this little girl. Like,
and that's the
there's no way I could have.
So I'm not gonna sit here and ever straight up blame the cop, because there was fucking people outside. There were fucking people watching. And ain't nobody thought to stop it. Y'all don't like us calling the cops. I don't like calling the cops.
Definitely.
I don't like calling the cops. So if that shit is happening and I'm standing there, you got to stop it so nobody calls the fucking cops. If you don't want them there and you don't want them to use their judgment,
don't give them reasons to be there. And
police yourself. That's it. Police yourself.
Because I can't even say that. Don't give them reasons to be there. Shit happens.
Shit does. But at this moment,
fights happen. But you need to. Somebody needs to think beyond the moment. Hey, if y'all keep scuffling out here, the cops are gonna show up. Somebody's gonna wind up dead.
Bro, when she went in the house to call the cops, say I fear for my life. Why y'all ain't smooth these other bitches out? Why you ain't tell them to chill out?
Exactly.
We like, all right, babe, it's done. Whatever
you're trying to get involved in the
whatever
shit
y'all issue have
after she's already on the ground. Like,
right now, you want to try to kick her in the head.
That doesn't say. Even if you have that kind of animosity, I feel
where
like
was it 10 minutes ago?
I would have been more okay with seeing somebody knock a woman out to protect a 15-year-old girl than kicking her in the head while the cops over here about to shoot.
And this is why this is why I told you I didn't want to talk about this. Like, but it was something you want. Right,
I feel like it's because I know that typically we have differing views when it comes to what needs to be done to protect our people.
I don't know if it's differing so much the fact that you are you're way more proactive and I'm way more reactive when it comes to things. You know what I'm saying?
I can accept that.
So like I'm full for doing whatever it takes to protect your family. But that's at the expense of it coming towards me. I'm never gonna go to somebody and be the aggressor. Like,
and I'm 100% like,
right.
Nah.
I'm not the aggressor, but I
board up the neighborhood now.
But I am the finisher, though. Like, I don't mind. I don't like being the aggressor, but I do not mind being the finisher, and that's where we defer. Yeah. So, like, you are all good with going out head first, and I'm like, you know, if they come to me,
actually,
Right,
mess with us yet?
Right.
It's all right.
So back to the video.
Threats are threats. Threats need to be stopped.
So back to the video. So boom bow. You see her turn around, and whoever the young lady was in the pink, who was standing next to an officer. That's what got me. She was already standing next to an officer. When you see old buddy pull up, girl in the pink walks to the side of the camera and stands next to an officer that's already on the scene. So now you walk away from the officer to go back into the altercation with this person
and
who
then
has a knife.
But that officer doesn't
intercede at all.
And I can't take that as fact. And we don't have information on who those other officers were who responded to the call.
But all we have is the fact that it got to the point where this gentleman turned around to view them, and he felt that it was a secure enough shot because his partner wasn't there. His partner wasn't in the way of any way. His partner wasn't trying to pull the arm back to stop her from assaulting her. You know what I'm saying? Like there was no.
As a police officer, at least as I understood being a cop, you're supposed to be putting yourself in harm's way to protect civilians.
Yeah.
And that's not what I saw. That's not what I saw from any of the officers involved. And I do the quick thinking and the quick reaction of the murdering officer, because we're not going to bullshit around that.
My job is to defend him. So
murder is murder. You shot somebody in the back.
True.
But aside from him, nobody even attempted, it seemed, from the video to even get involved.
Right. And that was,
at best, they took Shorty in the pink statement. At best.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. So they had time to take a statement. from somebody who wasn't the person who called the police in the first place.
Exactly.
But then when she turns around and you see old girl come out with the
and
knife
go back towards the altercation, you just sit there and
you watch like why is this officer who's acting the only officer who's not frozen? Because apparently ain't nobody else doing shit.
The only officer who didn't see the majority of the altercation is the only officer with the sense enough to try to react to the altercation.
You know what? At that point though, like I get maybe he shouldn't have gone for his gun first, but at that point he already had his gun in his hand. You know what I'm saying? He had already pulled it. So putting it down and pulling up his taser, that girl would have been stabbed. Like, we're not gonna take away from the fact that the possibility is that girl could have lost her life. And like, I thought of it this way, right?
Okay, but you lose your life trying to
let me ask
take somebody else's life.
Here we go. Let me ask you a question.
Oh, damn, and I didn't even realize you've been in and out the comments.
Nah, he was. I wasn't. Yeah. I was trying to get to a point where I could answer him.
The community failed that girl
way before
the cop. Her family failed her before the community did. Let's not pretend that's what I'm saying. A more compound situation.
But that needs to get light too, though. We don't need to just be angry at the cop. We need to be angry at the community which she lived in too.
I think, if possible, the family should be charged in negligence.
Family. The worst case scenario, they're going to lose their ability to foster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they should.
As
it should. But I'm saying
we can't do a whole lot to them, but like
they should definitely lose their ability to foster other children.
That negligence charge is going to ring
for sure. So I mean, at the
wrongful
same time,
death.
I mean, I'm not going to try to throw extra charges at the family. Like the fact that this is
because they were brought over there by the family. You know what I'm saying? Like
what, the one that he wrote? I read it, but I didn't. Oh.
Her foster mother called the girls over there. So a wrongful death is entirely within reason.
Yeah, and we talked about that too, though, right? Like it's
plenty of times cops brought in white attackers. Exactly. So there have been plenty of times cops brought in white attackers.
Here's the thing that separates it. It's fucked up how they do it, but literally,
like how you do that
white. Because you have to not get reported.
They'd be alright. Fuck them. So the way that it works, right, is that that it should be like this blanket for everybody, but the way the cop is supposed to work, right? Excessive force, right? The amount of force that you use is tentative. The shit is supposed to change as the situation grows up. I can't keep stopping to talk to I finish my sentence to read what this man said. I kind of sort of read. We'll come back to it. He keep pointing like I can't see. Yeah, he's active. We see him. I got him, but I gotta make my point first. Then I'll rebut. He can act to what he says. But so excessive force when it comes to black people is that it's like from the start to finish, it's the same amount of force. Like once they're subdued, then the amount of force doesn't change.
And that's the problem. That's exactly why George Floyd is dead right now. Because
the amount of force that was supposed to be there, that was there, is no longer necessary, and it immediately becomes excessive.
Exactly.
Like so,
even if you felt even let's take what Tammy Lauren and all the white pundits are saying about George Floyd's death, right? Even if he needed to do all that to subdue George Floyd. Once the man is on the ground crying for his mother, I feel like it's fair to be like it's excessive force.
Why are you subduing somebody over a fake $20 bill?
I mean,
we're off topic though, because we're getting off topic. We're going back to.
I don't feel like shooting to kill was proper force in this situation either. I don't feel like it was proper force because I know for a fact that as a police officer, you're trained to shoot in clusters.
And he did in her back.
In her back, as opposed to any other body part, which would have caused her to no longer be able to wield the knife.
Once again,
those same those same shots,
possibly
clustered in her shoulder would have put her down. But clustered in a hip would have put her down.
But you can't guarantee that though. What you have to like I said, I'm not defending this cop, but in his mind, what he saw was attacker and victim. At that point, regardless of who started it, she is now the victim from the mindset of him getting there. Oh gosh, this guy, tonsil lockjaw. So like at that point, his job is to protect the victim. So like I said, I'm not saying what he did was right, but I can see how he can think that he wasn't wrong.
Got there.
Right, I can see how we got there. I can see how we got there. I'm not saying that it was right, and I'm not saying that there's not room for reform. But what I'm saying is that There's not room for reform.
There's plenty of room for reform.
Where?
The entire thing needs to have reform.
I'm sorry. We're talking.
No, I think you misheard me. I said that there is room for reform. I'm not saying that there's
I don't
not.
think that there is. I think the only option is abolition.
I wasn't talking. You know what? That's the thing, though, right? Abolition is not the key. That's not what you do. And I'm not saying that there's a fine area between abolishing and reforming, and that's restructuring.
And I don't think that.
So here goes the thing, right? So you can abolish it. You can get rid of all the cops, right? And now, who are you going to call? Like, who is somebody going to call when they have an issue?
You replace it with different systems that are already in place in most major cities.
Like what? So
mental health services. If
mental health services, this is restructured. This is restructuring, though.
That's not. If mental health services got a tenth of the budget that policing gets, we wouldn't have problems.
But
like
you're
this.
saying abolish police altogether, as if they don't have a place.
Where is their place in our society nowadays?
For a police officer,
what can't be handled with arbitration and what can't be handled with arbitration? That police are supposed to respond to because they respond to so much shit they shouldn't be responsible because we have.
What I'm saying though is that there is a niche for them there, because if your mother's house is getting shot up inadvertently, there are people shooting at your mother's house.
The cops aren't going to get there in time to stop it.
So
they're going to get there in time afterwards to collect your statement and pick up the bodies because that's what they do.
Okay, but is that not their place? So if they were there, if they got there in time, right? If they got there, anytime they've made an arrest,
that's the thing.
Anything that's an arrestable offense, right? Do you believe that jail should be abolished? That nobody should be in jail?
I feel like jail should be restructured. I could say that.
You can't restructure one without restructuring
I disagree there because what we're dealing with in America, at least, is a for-profit prison system. For-profit. But if we have a for-profit prison system, then we have for-profit policing.
We do.
So you can't reform that. You can't reform policing because policing is for-profit. Policing lives to service jails. Jails live to service pockets.
And I get that, but what you said was that you feel that jail needs to be restructured, right?
I feel like jail can be restructured because there are other ways to go to jail than just getting arrested by police.
Who else to arrest anybody?
You can go to jail.
How would you get there?
Bailiffs.
Bailiffs are sheriffs. They're part of the police force.
They are
Every
sheriffs
bailiff is a sheriff.
They work for the court system. Not the precincts.
Who do you think the cops work for? Like that's all the
jails. I just said that.
No. What I'm saying though is that job of arresting people is going to go to somebody. It's going to go to some faction.
I think that job.
How the fuck are you going to reform a cop? We'll be able to break down the whole system.
We'll have to break down the whole system,
and that's fine. But that's why I said restructure, not reform. You have to restructure.
I think prison can be restructured, but I don't think a force that was bred out of slave patrols ever is going to be to a point where
that's fine, and I wholeheartedly agree with that.
We can reform them. It needs to be abolished. It needs to be replaced with something different. I think that private security forces are the right idea, but with the wrong deployment. I feel like private security forces should adjust to being city or like municipally run, as opposed to police forces. I think private security forces would do the job better.
I mean, they're still for profit though, because if they're when they are.
But what are we getting profits from? If the profits are coming from citations, then we're always going to be getting the same thing. But if the profits coming from,
everybody has quotas. That's the problem,
right?
Everybody has quotas. I'm giving immunizations that are free right now. Everybody's supposed to get the COVID vaccination, and they still put a quota on that motherfucker. Like you still got to get so many.
And look, we got
everything. If
we can't get rid of capitalism today.
And we're not going to, but that's the whole thing. The entire thing is run off of capitalism.
And I think capitalism is the worst thing to happen in this country.
Well, I mean, that's what it was based off of, but that's neither here nor there.
Hey, this country was here before capitalism.
The country, no, this land was here. This country.
I think capitalism is the worst thing to happen in North America. Fair enough. I'll accept that statement. I'll accept that statement. Like that's factual. That's fine. That's fine. That's factual. But like I said, like we always get off topic.
Yeah,
like I said,
we didn't even get into the topic of the night yet.
No, not yet. But this one, I told you, it's so polarizing because there's so many. It's so multifaceted, and the fact that how it's like
there's a lot.
It's like one of those things where if you look down and you can look at all the different paths that veer off, that if something happened differently here, then that wouldn't have occurred. If something happened differently a split second later, then that wouldn't have occurred.
That's very
like
true.
you know what I'm saying. Like every moment, every single second, if something different had happened, then the end result would have been different. Like that series of events could have been completely different, 1,000 different ways if instead of trying to kick her, that dude's like, all right, baby girl, you know what I'm saying, the cops are here. The person beside them had said something. Somebody had stopped her when she went into the house. All you niggas was standing outside already. You were already there. You saw her go in the house. You saw her go in the house.
Not boys, not children, not even other teenagers. Several men were sitting there watching this happen. It was like, damn,
if either of those other two cops that were there had spoke up before that, when she first went out there, it might be different. You know, like I said. So with the way that she had her pinned against the car, there was no saving her. Like if she was to stab her, that woman was done. And I had to look at it from this standpoint. If your daughter, right, and her friend went and jumped somebody because they were mad at them, albeit for whatever reason, right? She turns around, gets a knife, and goes to stab your daughter, who originally started the argument. Who originally
taking her the fuck down. I'm taking that kid the fuck down.
This is what I'm saying, though. This is what I'm saying.
I know I am.
This is what I'm saying, though, right? This is what I'm saying, though. So you're a cop, right? And you like it's your daughter. It's your daughter. And she comes home and tells you the story. Like, me and my friend, we went there. We went to jump this girl. She went and got a knife. She came to me. She pinned me up against the car. Right before she stabbed me, a cop shot her in the back.
I'd be thankful for that cop.
That's
and beat the fuck out of my daughter's ass.
Of course you should.
What are you doing?
Of course you should, because you just cost somebody their life and they died on you. But this is what
somebody died because of your stupidness.
But this is what I'm saying, though. The fact that is something that can occur is the reason why he took the action in which he did. Because if you're looking at it from the point of view of the person who got saved, then it's
the best thing in the world.
Then he did what was right. But we're not looking at it from that point of view. And it's so fucked up. Because if it was my daughter, either way it goes, it's a fucked up situation either way. Because if it had been my daughter who died, I would have died too. Because you're not gonna be able to, you can't treat me like white people. You have to kill me. Like that's it. Like that's it. Like that's it.
we not settling this in the court. So I'm not about to see you get 12 fucking years for the murder of my family member.
And that's the part that makes it hard, because coming from the other way, because there was an actual victim whose life was potentially saved, I can't say that everything he did was completely wrong. I can't.
So I think it's unfair to call her a victim. I think it's unfair to call any of those. They're assailants. They're assailants who didn't die.
That is true. But at the same time, though, at that point, when she came back out,
those are assailants.
When she came back out with a knife, that became a consensual fight. Like, you're not running anymore. You're running to it. You guys are in an altercation at that point that both of you wanted. And somebody happened to escalate it. You are the escalator.
I don't think that's fair, because if she went home and the person who runs her household is the one that calls the girls, she's not safe home either. She is still in fight or flight mode. She still has to fight for her fucking survival. The whole time she was fighting for her fucking survival.
You can't chase them out.
I'm angry. I'm full of rage. I'm gonna fight somebody. I know I'm going to die.
And that is also a conversation that needs to be had. That also needs to come.
She was fighting for her fucking life.
We're not talking about specifically her and the foster family which she stayed with. I'm talking about the situation that you would have to tell your child if they were in that situation and they went home and they got a knife to defend themselves. There's a point where you no longer chase, because now you're the aggressor and you're the one who's going to get.
But that's not the case in this situation.
They came out of the house.
Not her. They came out of the house.
Once you chase her out of the house, you have the capacity to stop. I'm not saying that's your first thought.
Why were the girls there? Because her foster mother.
We're not talking about what the foster mother did.
You have to, though, because you can't divorce that from the situation. This is why she's chasing them with knives, because these adults are here to fight this child, and this other adult who's supposed to be responsible for her is goading that shit on. But you have to do that.
Once you get them, like, it's just like
once you get them out, I'm gonna get them out the house. I'm gonna get them out the house. I'm gonna close the door, and then she's like,
push me right the fuck back out because
Who going to? Who going to? I'm the one with the knife. I'm the one in charge at this point. This is what I'm saying.
Not as a 15-year-old girl.
And that's
as
why
a 50-year-old foster child.
It needs to be a conversation.
Dog. Like,
that's why it's a conversation that needs to be had. Because anytime something like this happens, I go back and I gotta talk to my kids. I have to tell my kids, like, there's gonna be a point where you go from being the one who's being assaulted to the aggressor, and you have to figure out where that point is where you stop. The whole point of her getting the knife was to stop her from getting attacked. It's the same conversation that you have to have with a cop about excessive force. At the point where I grab the knife and this bitch runs, it's on me to either chase her.
So, we were in that situation.
I ran out with you.
But that's what I'm saying, right? It was done at the door.
And
but
I stayed and you left, and I went out after your stupid ass. Because that's what happened.
Because I knew it wasn't done, and you
then it's not done though.
You know it's not. But that's what I'm saying. Like you saying, when she grabbed the knife and chased them out the house, it was done at the house. Yeah, had I grabbed the knife and chased them out the house and stopped at the house would have got shot up. Like
No, see that's different though, right? Because y'all get a little insight into some other shit. But they literally said, "Let's go get."
Did you hear what they said in the tape? No, right? We don't know what they said. We
that
just know
said,
we just know she chased her out the house.
That's true.
They said that shit in my house, and I chased them out the house.
That's right. So we're adding context to it from our own lives. So I guess
okay, but then that's also again.
But I get it.
That's where we fall into our different lines on how we see having to protect. Because I was like, this is a threat that might happen. I need to.
You're right.
Handle this now.
And you know what? I was like, my guy went out there, so obviously this shit's not the fuck over. So we got to go together.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I get we need to have that conversation with our kids. We need to have that conversation in our community. Because it's not something that just happens with her. It's something that happens all over the place. And Ed, we didn't miss the 13th Amendment loophole. Norway is actually pretty great. In our city, in my city of Oasis that I'm planning to build.
Right.
I was planning on taking a more Norwegian style of policing.
This nigga Ed pulled out the popcorn.
He pulled out. Yeah, shit got good.
I told you I didn't want to talk about it. I told you I didn't want to fucking talk about it. I want to be left alone. Y'all gotta leave niggas alone.
I think it's a travesty what happened, and
For
I
sure.
think that we need to look at the foster care system, and we need to have a conversation.
Also for profit.
As a community, as a community of people, as a family of people, because we too often, like Ed said, first think about separating ourselves from other black people who we disagree with, and I think that's a mistake. Not only as an individual, but as somebody who appreciates the community that gets built when black people care about each other.
I miss the days of it takes a village, because back in the day, you know what I'm saying, like
70s. If I
I
was acting up in the 70s, every mom on the block would have whipped my ass and sent me home.
Even in the 90s, though, you know what I'm saying, there was a point where
our moms.
Oh yeah, man. I wish I would get the fucking trouble, bro.
My mom parents the neighborhood. She's put my friends on punishment.
That's right, exactly. I've been in
Sent
punishment
them
at
home
John's house before. I've been in punishment at John's house before. Well, Miss V's like,
Miss V is
so like
Miss V's not a joke.
So I firmly believe in like it takes a village. So like I don't know about you guys, but I attempt to talk to people, like to younger people, when I see them out and I see them doing something, like, hey yo dog, you know what I'm saying? Like I attempt. They don't always listen, but at the same time though, like the whole point is that we have to start, if we don't want the police to police us, we have to police ourselves. You got to kind of like, you have to talk to these young people. You have to reach out to more young people, because there's a lot of people out here who don't have a role model, who just do whatever the fuck they see their friends doing, or the shit that's the negative shit that is considered black that they see on TV.
Exactly.
So I firmly believe that it's a big part of it comes from like the community in which you're in. Like her community kicked bitches when they were down. And that's where she came from.
Exactly.
That's what. And I was talking to my mom about it, and she was like, "Oh, girls originally from Trotwood. Trotwood is way worse than Columbus. This is around the corner from where my mom grew up. It's it's way worse. And the fact that she got fostered out there, it was supposed to be a better thing. Supposed to be a better situation for her. And the fact that this better situation turned out the way that
her fucking murder.
Right.
I have to keep calling it that.
I mean, like I said, once again, I don't go either way.
It's a justified murder. It's a murder.
I mean, it's
in the line of
sure.
duty, but it's a murder.
And even using the word justified, like the whole time, every time I hear anything like this, everything I go and on both sides of it, because like I get it. Do I feel that he should be put up on charges? No. Do I feel like he should possibly lose his job? For sure. But as far as the law goes, as far as what's actually stated in the law, he did his job. So like, is he even gonna get pressed for the first charge?
The law should
not at all.
The law shouldn't allow for that. The law shouldn't allow
this is Ohio
murder.
The
law shouldn't allow for murder if the cop's life is not in danger. That's it.
In Ohio,
that's it.
In Ohio, it was legal for her to chase them out of the house with a knife because of their stand your ground law. So if it's okay for her to chase and kill them after the fact,
then it
okay
can't be okay.
It's okay for the
then it can't be okay for the cop to kill her.
Everybody dies in Ohio.
No, don't. But listen to what you just said.
How
does that logically make sense?
I know what I said.
It's okay for me to chase somebody out my house with a fucking axe and hit them in the back
because they accosted me first.
But
if I get caught doing it by the cop,
if I get caught hitting somebody in the back with an axe to defend myself, I still get shot. How does that make sense?
Nobody ever said it did. But this is the whole thing, right? Those laws weren't made for us, though.
Shouldn't they be? That's
yes, but we're not talking about what. And every conversation about what should or shouldn't be is a conversation about reform and restructuring. This is what I'm saying.
Or abolition. Reform and restructuring.
Honestly, I would be all for. Hey, babies, I would be all for abolition if I didn't feel like people would take that opportunity for anarchy. And honestly,
but I feel like the people who would take that opportunity for anarchy are the same people who are already getting a fucking pass for anarchy nowadays.
I invite.
You think Dylan Roof would respect the laws more or less if the cops run around?
But
like,
at the same time, though,
I don't
would
know
you?
It depends on the laws. Am I going to steal from Target? Hell yeah. But am I going to...
Target loves black people. Steal from Walmart.
But am I going to run up on the states of... Or am I going to run up on the Capitol steps with AK-47s because I want my fucking barbershop to open? No. That's the thing. Like, the people who are disrespecting the laws are already doing it. They don't give a fuck about the police, and the police don't give a fuck about them because their job isn't to police them. Their job is to police us. We need the police abolished. Fuck
we do need the police abolished, but once again, I say it does not help to abolish it if you do not replace it with something.
I have a perfect system of replacement
it with something. Like
I agree.
There has to be some. That's anytime something's been abolished.
Conscripted neighborhood watch.
I'm good with that. There has to be a system.
I don't feel like it should be optional, and I don't feel like it should be untrained. I feel like we can conscript your ass just like it's military. You do 2 years of service, wherever the fuck you live, and we're all safe.
Ed, I agree, but at the same time, the same, and that's the problem that we have. The first people who would go anarchist
are already anarchists.
They are. See, here's the thing, though, right? It's similar.
Legal anarchists, because
it's not legal anarchists, right? Because they
how many of them are in jail right now?
We're talking
how many
about
of the people that stormed the Capitol in jail right now?
We're talking about the ones that they face some sort of consequence, right? So this is what I'm saying.
Who?
Listen,
the one
shut up
getting
and listen, nigga.
His vegan
can
meals?
I listen? Can I listen? Can you listen? Can you listen?
Okay.
Can you listen? Can you listen? All right. So the number of people who stormed the Capitol, right, was not nearly the same as the number of people who wanted to, but were afraid of the consequences. So now, with zero consequences, there are going to be more people that feel free to do those same things. And now we're going to, and this is the thing, right? That thought process, I don't care what any of you guys say, is not a black thought process. You see what I'm saying? So we are already behind the curve. We are already behind the curve because that's not our mentality. Regardless of what the fuck they say about us, we're not animals. We are not animals. We do not think as animals think. Our first inclination is not violence. Because if it was, this would be a whole different fucking situation.
A whole different
This is what I'm saying. Like, that is not our natural
that
inclination. Because if it was...
black people the savages y'all thought we were.
Right, because your stupid fucking laws wouldn't fucking matter. So with that being said, exactly, that's not on us. That's not on us. So that's what I'm saying. So the fact that those laws are stopping white people from doing more white people shit that could have potentially harm black people, give me something different. I fully agree that there's an issue with the policeism. I fully agree that there needs to be a change, but I need a viable change, because if you abolish and there's that gap between where there was this and now there's not, and the rest of it hasn't been set up yet, you invite that anarchy, and it's going to affect us. And I'm okay with it affecting me personally.
I'm not okay with it affecting my family.
I'm not okay with it affecting my family. And like, y'all already know how I feel about it. I put a hole in the motherfucker. You come to my house, like, don't do. I answer the door when DoorDash comes. Which is like, y'all, yeah, look. So like, personally, I'm okay with it. Am I okay with it for my mother? No. Am I okay with it for my grandmother or my sister? Not at all. So when I say that there needs to be reform, restructure, it's not for me. It's not for me at all. It's for the people that I care about that I can't get to as fast as the police can. Because if they got a 4-minute response window and I got a 6, because I'm not closer, I don't got whizzy go Bobby lights that get me through traffic.
I'm sorry, but if they have a 4-minute.
No.
We're gonna say it. If they got a 4-minute response time, you got a 6-minute response time, but they got a 50% chance of shooting your grandmother. What's the point of even fucking calling them?
First of all, my grandmother's the lightest motherfucker on the planet. She looks white. They never shoot her.
You're probably right. But
I get what you're saying.
Like that's the gamble we play every time we call emergency services. Because even if you call 911, you say the wrong words, they're sending the cops. Now you're dead for no fucking reason.
First of all, the cops was coming regardless. I ain't never seen somebody call 911 and the cops didn't fucking show up.
I've called 911 like asthma attacks. You know, we were a wheezing ass family. Cops don't show up for asthma attacks, so
I don't know. Man. I don't call very often, so I don't know.
And in my adult life, I called 911 once when I chopped my fucking finger, and that's because I hit the bone.
Oh no, I blew my
I hit the bone, and I was like, I called
one time.
Okay.
I called one time in my adult life, once, and that was in that situation that we were talking about previously. And that's purely because there are women and children in the house.
Yeah.
And that was the only reason. And they still didn't fucking do shit. But that was it, right? That was it. Women and children, that was it. They're not supposed to be part of the whatever issues that they're not a part of it. But they were there, so that's like literally that's like
even with that situation, when the cops came, they were grilling me for defending my household.
Right.
They were like, well, what's all this blood on the wall?
Like, did you tell me?
You can't be bleeding. I didn't do that. Well, we heard you had a knife. Are you sure you didn't stab? Bitch, if I stabbed them, I would have told you I stabbed them. They was in my house,
sir. Like,
and that's the thing. I'm sitting here trying to defend myself,
and now got
to the police
about defending
myself from the fucking invaders. Come on, dog. That's not a fair life I should have to live. That's not how anybody should have to live.
You're right,
and that's why. Fucking need the police. It was a black cop too. It was the black one that was giving all fucking problems.
That shit made me so mad because he tried to act cool. Like, come on, dog. Was it really? Shut up, nigga. Fucking coon. Like, yes, bitch.
We not cool like that.
Right? You don't know me.
Fuck out of here,
bitch ass nigga. But
so upset, so mad because it was. But that's the kind of shit I think about every time somebody's like, "Yeah, we can reform the police." To what?
How do you reform
character?
That's why you don't. Well,
how do you reform character?
That's why you should take them all out. Well, not like that. Calm down, you guys. Chill
hey,
out. Take them. I feel like it should be a full-on restructure. So here's the thing, right? Because I think
solution is a solution.
I've told the story a bunch of times, but I don't know if I've ever told it on Couch Chat, right? So one day when I used to work at some stupid ass drugstore. It doesn't matter which one. I've worked everywhere.
Back when you're drug dealer,
I'm still dealing. I deal specialty drugs now. So right, like I'm sitting there. And I walk into the break room, and this girl is looking at a video, and she's just laughing, right? And I'm like, what's that? And she was like, oh, well, my boyfriend sent me a video of him and his friends doing cop training. I'm like, she's like, you want to see it? I'm like, not for real, because it's the police, right? So like, she plays the video, like she's letting it play. She started over, right? And as it's playing, the first thing I hear is rap music, right? And I'm like,
initially, like, all right.
And then I hear like the conversation, and there's people up there talking, using urban colloquialisms. They're using like slang, and I'm like, yo, is anybody in that video black? And she was like, no. I'm like, so why are they portraying it being a traffic stop of a black person? Because you don't have to train for a traffic stop and the victim be black. You could have been yourself in a fucking traffic stop.
Right.
And that shit was just like standard operating procedure for that shit. That shit
trained differently
right,
for interacting with black people.
The fact that you're training to stop a black person. Like, you weren't training, period.
So you weren't training to stop somebody. You were training to stop
a black person. So now you're looking for these certain things, and you're automatically like, all right, this is just like my training.
Exactly.
It should have been anybody. But now when you see yourself, or you see a white person, you're like, well, this is outside of my training. I have to try something. I have to try something different. They might call corporate. Well, shut the fuck up. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, so I completely understand not wanting to have to deal with the cops. I get it. Like, I'm not trying to be like an Uncle Tom or Coon or shit like that. But I feel like there needs to be something else. It can't just be nothing. Because there's some people who legit need the police. And I'm not taking that away from them.
And I think that most other first world countries have it figured out. Again, I don't think that I don't think that anybody has gone as far as I would like to, aside from like Israel. But I think conscripted police service is necessary.
Not gonna lie, those 2 years that you gotta do in Israel, like it make you better people.
It's going to make you a better person. You learn squad dynamics. You learn how to conflict resolve. You learn how to de-escalate situations. And you can't fucking learn that if they're not training for it.
Well,
and
at
you
the
can't
same time,
learn that if it's all optional.
That is true. But at the same time, like, we're also living in a country that was literally founded on the fact that we need to make some people lesser than other people to make us be able to stay at a certain profit
And that's
level.
very true. That's very true.
So it's like
the first slave happened in the courts. So
right. So it's like in the situation that you're in the upward battle that we're fighting, we will never ever be given a fair chance.
So then why fuck with their systems at all? Why not abolish their systems and establish our own? Why not? I'll take that. I'll stop there.
No. I'm good. But
you know. But
you've already said the key word a bunch of times though. System. There has to be a system. There always has to be checks and balances.
There has to, right.
So if somebody
there has to be a system, I've never been a fan of anarchy because anarchy leans too much for the people that are already in power. Anarchy is bullshit. Anarchy is people in power deciding that they want more power without anybody stopping them. Don't ever let somebody tell you that anarchy is for the people. Anarchy is for self.
It's not. It's for self. It's for sure for self. But that's the whole thing, though, right? So I'm for a system.
That's
that
another
works.
good commercial quote, by the way.
Right.
There was a commercial for this episode. It's another good one.
Just bringing up those sponsors, you guys.
I'm just saying.
We're super polarizing, but we're also very entertaining. I don't know. But I just feel like there has to be an alternate system and a literal system. Not just people like, well, we're gonna do this shit and expect it to work. I need there to be a system. I need for it to be detailed out on how we're gonna literally take out one entire establishment that's been around for 400 years and place another one and expect the shit to go smooth. Because it won't.
I don't expect it to go smoothly.
I
don't expect it to go smoothly, and I expect there to be armed riots.
So here goes the thing, right? I expect it to be armed riots, but I expect it, if it was to happen, to be by the police officers. Because that's one of the only groups.
Exactly.
That is one of the only groups that put, like, they're almost, like, they have almost military levels of pride in their job.
Yeah, definitely.
Their job. So much to the point
that
the
blue line is so fucking serious.
To the point where they are all cop and no human. Like,
I agree. I agree. They will ignore the most horrendous human rights violations under the guise of, well, you don't snitch on your brothers.
Right. And it's okay. And then you hit them with the, hey, yo, dog, that was foul. So it's what I've been doing. Like, you don't care. Like, nobody cares. You got, like, that's the whole problem. And it's just going to continue. But that's the fact that...
When you say that, in your heart, do you feel like that could be reformed? Do you feel like that could be just
that's why I don't say reform.
Out of people?
I don't say reform.
I say you haven't said reformed at all. You said restructure.
Restructure is a completely different thing. Restructure is building it from the base up. But that's what you want to do. You want to.
It's not building it from the base up. It's taking the framework and putting new shit on it.
It's solidifying the frame. You need a better frame. That's the problem. Your house is leaning.
We need a different frame altogether. We're 70-30 right now. I need this shit to be level.
Because you don't have a better frame.
So
you have two options.
Replace that.
You have two options.
You do.
You have two options. You can either
strengthen.
You can either strengthen the frame that you have, or tear down your house to build a new one and be homeless. And then you have to deal with being homeless until you finish building the house that you want. You see how that can be a problem? Because not everybody's built to be homeless. That doesn't work for everybody. And we're talking about what works for everybody as a whole across this country, and that just works for you. Because if you only worry about what works for you, you know better than them.
You want to hear my genuine feeling on that?
Fuck them.
No. No. I feel like America breeds weakness.
I feel
like the comfort and the protection that the flag offers breeds weakness. And I don't think that as a country we can strengthen ourselves while hiding behind the same force that oppresses us. So I do feel like we have to have that. We have to have that time of vulnerability. We have to have that time of turmoil, because you can't forge something better if you're still clinging on to everything that makes you weak. And the police, they make us weak as a country. Our judicial system makes us weaker as a country.
Here goes the thing, though, right? Your cops ain't part of the judicial system. They are part of the executive branch. Their job is to execute. Their job is not to execute people. Their job is to execute the laws.
Orders.
Their job is to execute laws. They are not part of the judicial branch. Therefore, they are not meant to pass judgment. Therefore, they should not use deadly force.
But you can't reform that out of the cops that have. You can't change. You cannot change that. You cannot, out of the cops that have already been part of the system. Everything.
That's what it says.
Torn out.
I don't feel like the system itself of a government needs to be completely torn out. I
don't think the government.
I think the people who are in it, need to be taken out. Because as a system,
I definitely feel like there should be an age limit. 65 at the minimum for an age limit.
I don't feel like there should be an age limit. I feel like
out of here.
I feel like once you start taking
Mitch McConnell's ass, who's born in 1932, knows what's good for a country that's stepping into 2021.
And whose job is to take him out of there?
I mean, I'll take the job.
What I'm saying is that like the way the system is set up is to the point where he can be gone in an instant. If people stop voting for him, there just needs to be more free thinkers.
There needs to be somebody to run against him. Mitch McConnell's been running unopposed for several years. I don't live there.
Somebody needs to run. That's it. Somebody just needs to run.
Definitely cuter than Mitch McConnell. And like, I pay attention. I pay attention to presidential racists. They pick the better looking candidate.
For sure they do.
That's why John McCain couldn't win. He went up against a black guy. Like, you picked the wrong year. John McCain against Trump, John McCain would have won.
I do agree. See, I don't really agree that it breeds lack of empathy. I think that the internet itself breeds a lack of empathy. Because like we touched on earlier, everything about black society, they always show the negative. In white society, you always see positive shit and success. Only portrayed. Yeah, that's what you see them as positive and success. So when you see that, that's
portraying
the norm.
Pilgrims as positive is the biggest
craziest thing ever.
The biggest mindfuck ever. When you hear everything Pilgrims did was terrible, dog. Everything they did was terrible.
So one year I'm living in Virginia Beach, right, and I go to like my kids' school to like set them up for school at the beginning of the year, right. And they hit me with this old extra shit, and it was like, oh, well, you know what I'm saying? Every year we do a Jamestown Day, you know what I'm saying? Would you and your family like to participate? I'm like, it depends. Is it historically accurate? Because if it is, then fuck no. Because all I can be is a slave. Like, no, we're not going to be a part of it at all. Like, if it's historically accurate, I don't want anything to do with it. And if it's not historically accurate, I don't want anything to do with it. Like, I don't want anything to do with it.
You're not even telling the truth.
I'm like, so no. Like, I don't want anything to do with any of this bullshit. And that's the issue, and it's only getting worse because I've noticed like if you look, they're rewriting history.
Man, have you seen like the like Louisiana Purchase and the Trail of Tears like in recent books?
Yeah, they make somebody happy to go.
Yo, it is gross.
I was helping a kid with their homework, and he was like, "I don't know how to answer this question." I was like, "Let me see it," and that shit said something about explaining why slavery was necessary to make like for Revolution time America. I'm like, my guy, we finna get this shit wrong. Like, let me like I don't care what we gonna write down the truth. And if your teacher wanna call, give her my number.
Ooh, bro, yes.
Let
me explain to you why this is the right answer.
Let's go ahead.
Let's do it
and get this X. This will be the most proudest zero you ever got in your fucking life. This zero is going on the fucking fridge, bro. Like, I promise you, we getting this shit wrong today.
Yeah.
Never heard nothing about it. I bet that teacher was like, "Oh, all right,
bruh, exactly,
bruh."
The lost cause narrative is still running rampant. Yeah, most definitely.
See, it's never going to change though because the history books are written by the winners, and the winners are white people. So, and they're going to make it so that they're like at this point, they are attempting to, I guess, no, they're no longer trying to hide their shame. They're trying to erase it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they're attempting to make it so that it won't even be a conversation anymore.
We got a new follower. I was so excited.
Oh, what up, new follower? I didn't see who it was. But that's the whole thing. That it's like the caucasity, right? Like it's what happens though, because at this point they are tired of their own children. Right, because now white people are, you know what I'm saying, they're getting, these young white kids, shout out to y'all, you new white kids, because y'all are elevated mental thinkers, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, last generation,
so
the white kids I went to high school with were trash.
They're doo-doo, throw those white people away.
Y'all look trash. Those new white kids though?
Right, they are.
Shouts out to my four white friends.
Right, they are way more rich than saltine, bro. Like they are way more rich. They almost graham crackers.
Almost.
Yeah, well, they still
almost.
They way more rich than saltine though. I give them that, yo. I love
they're way more rich.
Right.
Y'all got a little bit of seasoning going on.
Right, and it's beautiful because like they can challenge their parents with no problem. No, mom, that's not how the shit works. Mom.
Exactly. Like, I could have never done that at 11.
Right. No, mom, you stupid, mom. Black people are awesome, mom.
Yes, like, that one white girl who went off on her dad,
bro,
recorded it for like 10 minutes, embarrassing him.
Stumped him. Ain't son to daddy, boy.
You can't come to the cookout.
Call him Pa now. Call her Pa.
I'll bring you a plate.
Listen, you can't come to the cookout. We'll save your leftovers.
Right.
We'll save your leftovers plate. I don't play that cookout shit, dog. Like,
ain't nobody invited.
Every time somebody's like, yeah, so come to the cookout, they go with.
Why?
They go with a Kramerus, and they were saying,
and you know,
niggas is inviting Pootie Pie to the cookout.
But like, who? Why? Ew, why ever? You don't get invited just because you're popular.
That's because nerds.
Since when did you let nerds pick who come to the cookout?
I did it. I never did.
We gonna talk. That's also we're eventually gonna get to the topic. What time is it?
It's 11:55.
Damn, bro. We spent a good hour and a half. We talking about this. I thought this was gonna happen.
No, this needed to be talked about though. We rarely talk about like deep shit like this on Couch Chat. We rarely get into more.
You know why? You know why we don't? Because when we talk about shit like this, like as people who feel adamantly about it, it fucks with us on a mental level, and then like now we have to figure out ways to cope with the shit that's going on. You like I did that right? To the next.
Yes.
You like I did that right?
That was a good segue.
I tried, man. I tried.
So if y'all have been rocking with us for this time, right?
We appreciate you, first of all.
Oh yeah, who aired her family?
That's what we was talking about.
Storming the Capitol. Hell yeah. Her mom went to jail.
Oh, there was one person who went to jail.
That was one person who went to jail, and that's because a white girl said something.
Right.
So if you've been rocking with us for this episode, our actual topic is supposed to be using our hobbies, such as video games, nerdiness, couch chat, to cope with the stresses of being a black man or black person in America. We had two guests. We had two guests to give us a more varied view as opposed to just black men like always.
Right, because that's all we are. That's all we got. Shout out to Jay. Shout out to Nick.
Shout out to Jay.
We missed you guys already.
Yeah, what happened?
Right. Okay.
But Couch Chat's running at midnight. Y'all know how we do. And at midnight, we're finally getting into the real topic.
Whole another hour up in this motherfucker. But it's all good though. So all right. So
it's Streets of Rage 4. Streets of Rage 4 is great because most of the enemies are white.
Right.
So right.
There's a few brown ones in it.
After. I've always just assumed that they're Uncle Toms.
Tans? Oh,
they're Uncle Toms.
You look just like the white dude, but brown. Like your hair didn't even change.
Exactly.
You still got a fucking mohawk. Fuck you.
That's just okay.
No, I like beat 'em up style games regardless. You know what I'm saying? They're great for that. They're great for like I don't know, playing with a friend. My favorite beat 'em up game was the Warriors back in the day, but that's not.
Oh, the Warriors was so good.
Right,
I'm actually reading the book. There's so few games that like let you play a beat 'em up style, but like that level of level of combat.
It was masterfully done. I feel like it became a cult classic like the movie because it didn't get nearly enough play. It didn't get nearly enough clout, bro.
It did it. It was definitely game of the year for a few years.
Right, it was fantastic. But I mean, it was still like around GTA 3 time though. So it was like this shit got overshadowed like a motherfucker. But
there was so much other good stuff coming out. Right.
So, but at the same time though, I feel like that was one of my favorite games. But that's neither here nor there. Streets of Rage is a great way of I try to use video games to like work on like myself, like help my mental state, but I don't get enough time to play very often just because like I got like a whole family and shit like that.
Yo, it's great, but it's
fucking up.
It's frustrating to not be able to like game as much as I want to. Like
right.
I'm working. I'm taking care of the babies.
I'm at this very comfortable place.
Spending time at games.
Right. Like I'm at a very comfortable place where my kids are old enough now that we can play games together, and I don't gotta worry about like going soft them and no shit like that. Like my son is 13, bro. I don't. He gets to work in everything. Fuck that.
Get good, scrub.
My 11-year-old, he get to work in everything. Like so, I don't like it's great when I get to play with them because it gives me the opportunity to spend time with them as well.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. We already said earlier, vices don't really count as a good way.
I definitely agree with that.
To cope, it is a coping mechanism. Not gonna say it's the best one though. There's got to be more productive ways of dealing with your stress and just the stress of being black in America in general. Like I know growing up, like you get into your nerdy shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
growing up getting into nerdy shit was not easy.
You know why?
It was everywhere, but it was like.
It's very cult-ish. It's a very community thing because it's like I only thought that the nerd shit that I was into was good, cool nerd shit. And anybody else's nerd shit was nerd shit. I was like, I can't believe this nerd is into this shit.
Somebody doesn't want to do Dungeons and Dragons.
Fuck that Dungeons and
Dragons. See, yo, what the?
See, no, but that's how I felt growing up. I mean, I still don't want to play.
Come on, I can make Dungeons and Dragons cool as fuck. I just need players.
See, that's the thing, though. Right? I don't want to play Dungeons and Dragons, though. You know what I'm saying? If you want to
not going to play Dungeons and Dragons. You want to play what I set up.
I want to play Trap Atlanta. Make it the same, but make it like
that's what I'm talking about.
My game is going to be way running to Magic City. Does the bitch give you a lap dance? Come on, Seth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Make it some shit that I can get into as a dungeon master, and then we can talk about it.
And I think that's I think in our community that doesn't happen at all. Doesn't happen at all. I think the best we get is stuff like Drunkies and Dragons on All Death.
Well, that's the thing, because a lot of the shit, it wasn't made for us, and it's like it's
that's very true.
Here's the thing, right? So it's double-sided, right? Because as a black person who's lived like in the life that I've lived, it's not gonna say it's super horrible, but like I mean, you get around. There's certain things that I don't do. Like I don't watch like hood-based movies. Because I don't need to see shit about, like, you know what I'm saying, people getting sad that their friend got shot. Or, like I don't want to see shit about the life that I've lived. Fuck that. That's not entertaining to me.
I can't.
I don't
Boys in the Hood was not, like...
I don't want to watch
that
it.
That shit is traumatic.
I don't want to watch it.
I thought that, like... That ass, like that's a story from like niggas in my high school.
Like I don't
thought this nigga was gonna go. We thought he fucking had it. He was gonna take the hood with him, and he got shot in a fucking back alley because Rip Lonnie, bro. But anyways, look. So like exactly. You don't put this shit back up. I hate this shit. Pinching the nipple. Really? Yeah. Just like that.
But that's the whole thing. Like
Lonnie.
when it comes to shit like that, I don't really want to watch things that I feel hit too close to home because it's no longer entertaining at that point.
I don't like playing things that are too mundane either.
Well, here's the difference.
I don't like playing basketball. I played 21 so many times in my life.
Growing up, right?
Like I'm so sick of 21.
I just ain't got the ankle for it no more. 21 was a cheap ass game, bro. Like you get the 19
shoulder checks I hit niggas.
Yo, you get the 19 and it's a wrap, bro. Like you get double, triple, it's a wrap. You get 19, you ain't scoring again, bitch. Like, you ain't scoring until everybody got 19. Ain't nobody scoring.
I'm tripping the fuck out every time. Yeah, clips. I played dirty. I'm short and I'm not good at basketball.
You wanna hear something funny? Anytime we played 21 and John would have the ball, Flea would always pinch his nipples. And he'd immediately drop the ball. Like, yeah, John! Like, she tweaked his nipple, bro. Like, what the fuck are you supposed to do? Like, it was elbow. Like, that's just what it was.
Flea could take one. She could take a quick elbow. She'll be alright.
It was funny, bro. That was it. You get the quick thing and he dropped the ball. The ball out the hand. You know it's coming every time. But like I don't like watching movies that portray shit that happens in my life. But if I was to play a game like Dungeons and Dragons, I would need for it to be more immersive. I would need for it to be something that I could relate to, because like the fantasy shit, it wasn't made for black people.
It wasn't. You can't enjoy fantasy without watching racial stereotypes every fucking where.
Well, even still, like it's like fantasy, right? It's a luxury. And growing up, luxury ain't some shit that you always get to fucking have.
That's true.
So the fantasy part, you don't always get to. It don't really rock with you because your reality doesn't afford you the opportunity to enjoy it and perceive it for what it is.
Now, see, I feel opposite.
Like you can use it as an escape. If that's your mindset. But not everybody in the black community felt that way. That's why it was so hard being a black nerd, because it was either you escape into it,
and then get ostracized when you're in real life,
or you think that shit is trash,
and then never have a fucking escape from the fucking mundane.
Right, and that's what made it so hard, man. So it's like that's why a lot of black nerds grew up like learning how to do both. Like you had your nerdy friends, and then you had your hood friends. You had your friends that you smoked or you hit a liquid, and then you had your friend that collected Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Like it was a good, healthy balance, bro.
I'm not gonna lie. I appreciate having found y'all in my life.
Oh, shucks.
You, John, Felia, Zach, Cam.
Yo, he has been stretching me about getting over here, bro. Every time I see him, he's like, you gotta take me. You gotta take me. I'm like, nigga, where? Couch. Like, that's all he's like, couch.
Bring him for couch chat, man. Cam's my nigga, yeah.
That means I gotta take him back, too, though.
You do.
Like, once I leave.
That means he gotta get drunk with us, and then you gotta take him back.
Nah, he ain't gonna make it across the bridge, right? Because it's already midnight. It's already midnight, and I am nowhere near leaving.
We still have to do the topic.
But now you want me to drive with Cam at 1 a.m. through Newport News, through Virginia Beach to wherever the fuck. Man, look. I know when I'm getting set up. Fuck y'all. Like,
I'm just saying.
You take them home, nigga. You want them in? You can. I love you, Cam. But no, I gotta, man. Look,
we have to do an early couch chat. That's a 7 o'clock.
That nigga get like Sunday service couch chat. Yeah. He got 10 a.m. on a Sunday couch chat. You can't go all night with him, bro. Fuck that. Man.
Couch brunch.
couch
fuck them off mimosas. Sitting home. Yeah, we love you. We just talking shit. But yo, I appreciate D'Angelo, David. I appreciate like having nerdy hood niggas in my life, so I can like just be like my family's very much this way, right? And my cousins, my uncles. The same uncle that taught me how to fight is the same uncle that like put me on a Batman.
Right. That's
the same uncle that had me jump somebody in like first grade. Is the same uncle that put me on the Batman.
See, that's what being a black nerd is, though, right? You gotta be multifaceted. You just like, I love how white people get the luxury of like
just living in one fucking sphere. You're just a goth. That's it. I've been goth since I was like 12, and I don't even come up in
Here go my question: why can't more goths fight?
Like,
I
don't know. Let's clean it up in circles after disagreements.
This is what I'm saying, though. Like you guys get to be emo and angry and covered in black.
You get angry
and still can't fight.
You're angry. You like death and the devil.
You like to cut yourself.
You ain't never.
But you can't scrap, bro.
How you got a glass jaw?
Tell you right now,
on your arm. Like,
tell you right now, I've seen a mini of black gloth, and you know what I didn't do? Try them.
Because 9 times out of 10, if you're a black goth, you earned your spot.
Right.
All right.
Ain't nothing worse than getting watched by a black goth. You cannot.
The goth community is racist as shit. So you checked many a jaw to be 30 and still be a black goth.
I wish I wouldn't get washed by a black goth, bro. You can't even bring that shit back,
I'm gonna tell anybody who ever sees this. All right. You want to see me fight? Talk shit about My Chemical Romance. Emo as fuck. I will throw hands of MCR. All right,
and we're not throwing shade on any group. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to do what you got to do to survive, even in a mental standpoint.
And that's what it is.
It's surviving
survival
and trying to be comfortable in your own skin, and that's fine. And everybody should be afforded the opportunity to do that. Yeah. And if I don't get it, that's cool. But it's fine because not everybody gets me. I already know that I'm acquired taste. I am an acquired taste, and this shit is either all the way yes or all the way no. There's no in between with me, and I get it. And I see you got the D&D sheet, and I ain't forget about you, man. See, that's the whole thing, right? I don't have a group that I ever want to play with. I never got into it growing up, so I don't see me getting into it now, right? So, but that doesn't mean that I don't get immersed in characters. Because if I ever have to create a character in a game,
oh my god, I want backstory options.
I be making up shit in my head that don't be in the thing. I'd be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like the reason why I'm from here is because this shit happened in my life. Like when I played Neverwinter, bro.
I was gonna say my Sith Lord on
Knights of the Old Republic.
I got so much backstory for him.
I had more backstory for my mercenary than my Sith though.
The mercenaries do get they're good gaps in their story.
Right. I was in it, bro. I was in it. I filled all that shit in.
Nah, yo, my Sith, he's 3rd generation, right? He was his family was yeah.
All my sisters are always orphans, bro.
Oh,
I don't know. It's something about being an orphan that just sounds like it make you angry.
Nah, I'm from a fallen lineage. That's how we wound up slaves. One of my ancestors was like, you know what, the Jedi ain't that bad, and fucked us all up.
And I always like making like what the Darth Maul type character. I forget what he's called. I'm sorry.
Zabrak.
There we go, Zabrak. I'm normally a nerd. Like that or a Twilight, bro. I need my
if I'm gonna go Star Wars, I gotta be weird. I'm gonna go alien.
I gotta be an alien. I'm black every day. I'm weird enough as it is.
I'm a chiss. Blue skin, red eyes every time.
Admiral Thrawn head ass nigga.
It's so every time. I'm super Wilson.
I don't know, man. See, and that's the beauty of being a black.
The young kids went to sleep.
I see him right. He's supposed to be in charge of the media shit.
He don't know.
He don't.
He's sleep. Yo, Ed. I have a D&D campaign coming up. I got a D&D campaign coming up.
What the fuck you telling me for?
To give you the option to join in if you want.
I already told you I don't play.
I already told yo, it's going to be truncated. I promise. It's going to be closer to Monopoly than D&D.
I don't like Monopoly either.
How do you not like Monopoly?
Monopoly takes forever.
It does. That's what I said closer. I didn't say it's going to take
Monopoly
forever.
takes forever. Have you ever finished a game of Monopoly?
I have.
I have not.
I've never salvaged a relationship afterwards.
Here's the thing about Monopoly.
I still have family members who got beef with my cousin Tony.
See, the problem with black families and playing Monopoly is that at some point in the game of Monopoly, there becomes there's prostitution in there somewhere, right? Because you can't pay your rent no more.
Give me that. How about you give me bucks?
You can't pay your rent no more, little baby. So what you finna do?
What would you do if the son was at home crying no
Monopoly ends in prostitution, bro. I don't care what anybody says. Every time it ends in prostitution. Fuck y'all.
I haven't been playing my Monopoly games right, or I've been playing with family. I need to play with some randos.
You do.
If Monopoly ends in prostitution,
it does.
Clearly, I haven't been doing this right.
You need to play with a set of you and Tiff need to play, and then when she land on that boardwalk, you be like, little baby, you ain't got enough
$700 you ain't got, right?
You ain't hear about free parking in a while, but you know what's free right here? This belt buckle. You trying to keep playing or no? Like this shit. Like
we're about to have some horrible Uno games in this house.
I want to know
you trying to Uno out or not?
If you playing a game with your spouse and they can't end up in something sexual, bro, what's the point of even playing, bro?
Why are you wasting this time?
Bro, no, man. I make anything sexual with my spouse, bro. We playing dice. I wish
sexual
I was
spades.
I
made 6 books. That's 6 articles of clothing. You gotta take
everything, bro. Y'all want to play
everything.
Strip rock paper scissors, motherfucker. They don't even care.
Me and Tiff about to play strip Fortnite.
I'm in the zone, all right, baby.
The problem is she's better than me. Yeah, she is. I've never been snake in shooters. Like, I'm a fighting game.
Oh, me too. I suck at shooting. Bro. I cannot.
Yeah, Tiff run me in fucking.
So why she ain't playing? We could have been watching her play. I could have been rooting her on.
We could have been watching. Well, she's
sleep. Oh damn, damn son. We still chilling and talking and shit.
We are.
I appreciate everybody who hung out with us. I mean, I feel like
every week, Ed. Thank you for coming to hang out with us. You know that there's always a
spot, something like that. But I feel like, since we never got to topic, the whole Micaiah Brown thing, that shit took a life of its own, which I knew it would. But
is it raining?
Probably. It was raining when I got here.
Okay, I didn't know that. Thank you. I started hearing it and I was like, shit, there's something on in the kitchen.
She's still cooking grease in that motherfucker.
Right. Some boiling shit.
But I mean, like, I feel like at the same time though, we can still put a pin into the discussion about coping mechanisms and depression. And
we can come back to that another night.
We're gonna have to. That's a whole shit in and of itself.
It really is.
Like that. Like
it really is.
Just because, like, so I'm not gonna lie. Like, this right here is kind of a coping mechanism. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Like that's what I designed it for. Like, I throw parties every fucking week. Right. 50, 60 people in my house. Right. Like, I feel better in crowds.
I don't like crowds, but I would always go to make sure that my friends are good. I don't know, man. I don't know what I'd consider my coping mechanisms are, because, like,
I definitely think I personally feel like you do better here than you used to do at the parties.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Because at the parties, it's not me. It's not me. I'm not a party person. I'm going to tell you a little secret right here. Couch chat, I've never been to a club because that's not my style. I've never been to a strip club because I'm not throwing money at bitches to do shit that you're going to do for free. It's not who I am. It's not who I am. It doesn't fit my character. I'm not going to fake it for anybody. So it's not me. So this right here, being able to talk, I guess I like it because it gives me the option to speak, and in my normal life, if you know me, I have no problem telling the story of AJ because I feel like my story can help somebody else. So I never have an issue with talking about anything that happens in my life, for better or for worse, because where there was a lesson for me, it could be a blessing for somebody else. Right. So I'm always good with just like talking. Like I never have an issue talking, because if I don't talk, then it's quiet. And as somebody who deals constantly with depression, the silence sometimes can be deafening.
Man,
so yes. A lot of times I'm over the top, not because I want to be, but because I have to be, because I have to keep a certain level of energy, because if I don't, then I sink into my depression. And
I definitely mirror that same kind of feeling. I think I get my recharge differently. I get my recharge from the bouncing of ideas. I need to talk to somebody. I need to talk to somebody else. I need to talk to somebody. I need that group.
My problem is I always think I'm the smartest person in the room. Oh, straight up, I always.
I ain't gonna lie.
Not even on purpose. Not even on purpose. I just always feel like I always have more to. It's fucked up. But I always feel like I have more to contribute than other people do. But then I just don't contribute it. I just don't. And that's fucked up, because not everybody's gonna agree with me, because I give off a certain persona, and I don't really normally like get into deep shit until like situations like this. But like, I don't know, man. Talking helps. Talking helps others. So I'm a big proponent of that. Outside of that, well, we'll get into it later on. But my biggest coping mechanism is my kids, bro. That's who I spend all my time with.
But that'll be a topic for another day. I'm all the way good with like revamping and coming back to this topic next week, just because we never like it's so large that I don't feel like we have the time to talk about it unless you guys are trying to hang out with us for another hour. And I feel like at some point, like
I think hour and 4 minutes. This being the second stream.
Oh yeah, we did shut off and come back on, right? But yeah, I mean, it's a good episode, right? You know, you get TV, it's only like 56 minutes.
Exactly. We gave y'all more than TV give y'all. Fuck
right.
that. We're doing great.
Eventually, we're gonna do some shit where we can actually like get monetized for it. I'm gonna try to like curb like what I say a little bit. 2 hours.
Killing it on Twitch. Killing it on Twitch. Good job, guys.
Shout out to everybody who came and watched it on Twitch.
One person. Shout out to our one viewer on Twitch. We got a new follower though today.
That's fine. That's good too though. Like it starts somewhere, right? It starts somewhere.
Yeah, that's where we're gonna start getting.
Shout out to everybody who likes me, like the 5 of y'all, right? Like you know, like it's just literally us being us, and we're just trying to make something for everybody at this point.
I think it's nice to be able to have a zone where we could just be, you know? Because right now I don't feel like I have to, or when I'm doing couch chat, I'm hanging out with my friends, I'm hanging out with people that I want to get to know if I'm doing like the video calls, right?
So,
and I get to just be.
Yeah, so
y'all about to just see me,
right? Like
being.
At the same time, I had I'm glad that you're actually doing this because I had a similar idea to do the same thing, just like because this is the shit that we talk about. Like this shit right here is a conversation that we would have had regardless. Exactly. Us being animated like this is a conversation we would have had anyway. But now you guys get to experience it with us and get to put in your 2 cents, which I also am a fan of. But I feel like a lot of times, a lot of things that I talk about with my friends. It feels like it's more broad and more people need to hear it.
It should be shared.
It should be shared. Because it gives another way of thinking. Because we don't always agree on everything, but we don't hate each other. Like it's fine.
Right.
Like it's fine. It's fine.
Man,
fine.
The statues, yo.
That was intense. And that was pre-couch chat, bro. Oh,
that was pre-couch chat. Y'all ain't get none of that shit. That was intense.
We can't even go back to that.
We can't.
No,
I don't even feel the same way. Exactly,
bro.
I drove through Richmond. I think it's just Arthur Ashe up there now. Like,
yeah. So, my background on Facebook, like you know that background picture, is the graffitied statue in Portsmouth, missing the heads.
Good.
Never gonna change it because it's so iconic to me now. Like that's a duality piece of history. When you put it up, it was history. When that shit happened to it. History. It should have stayed like they should have lacquered over that shit.
I really think
that's the way it was.
I really feel like that's a better statement than removing it.
It shows,
and that's why I'm saying like I changed my opinion a little bit.
Right? Yeah, that's why I feel like it shouldn't be moved because it shows the progression of America.
Exactly,
and that's
it
what
shows
it
that
show.
We celebrated this and then we hated this.
Right? It's like all right. So this is what we saw. This is where our fault was, and this is our correction. Instead of you completely removing it and acting like it didn't happen. You guys are acting like old black grandmas with that shit. But you can't tell a black mother nothing. You can't tell a black mother a damn thing.
I disagree. I feel like there's a zone for atrocities. And the zone for atrocities isn't fucking Main Street USA.
There's a zone for all atrocities that aren't African American related.
And that's fair, but I also feel like I demand more of America. I demand more of. I don't just expect. I don't just feel like we need more. I demand.
But that's
more
what
of America.
That's why I wanted the statues to stay in the capacity in which they're in now. Like when they were graffiti, they need to stay like
that.
They need to stay just like that. You don't need to move them somewhere else. You need to let them be where they are, and what happened to them, in light of progression of America, be what it was.
That I can agree with. I just don't agree with the blanket. All statues should stay because many of the statues. What was it? 70% of the Civil War statues were put up by the KKK.
Yeah, they were. They were funded by them.
Erected
specifically to put fear and a othering onto the black community, and I feel like,
and once again, being who I am, and like I personally, in my life, I never felt fear from a statue.
I felt rage though,
and that's fine.
And I don't need to. I don't feel like that's
fine though.
I don't. Is it though? Like, I'm just trying to live my fucking life. I'm just trying to go to the grocery store. And every fucking time I see, I was about to explain, like, I was about to go into childhood shit.
Right.
I used to, every time I would look at, I forgot I don't even remember what the park's name was anymore. But there was a plaque for a park. And of course, me being a dick, I went home and Googled it. Because you should do that anytime you see the name of a park. Fucking don't. They're all named after bastards. So I went home and Googled it and was thoroughly disgusted. And every day on my way to school, I'd have to walk past that and get so fucking frustrated again until I tore it down. Because, again, I have a problem with anger.
Statute of limitations.
But, yeah, like, that's not fair for a 12-year-old to have to go through. To be like, I'm so fucking mad. I want to tear down a metal sign.
Yeah, but like,
why should I have to go through that? Because you want to honor your fucking slave-owning grandfather.
You know the fucked up part though? When I think like, at this point in my life, when I think about black rage, it's really fucked up because it feels like the norm. Remember how we're talking about what's considered the norm?
Yeah, black rage is just the
norm.
hum of America,
right? And it's like
it's the background noise of America.
And in my head, the whole time you're talking, in my head, I'm like, yeah, but if you won't angry about that shit, there's some other shit for you to be angry about.
But that's not on me though. Like,
I didn't say it was.
You see, in the past like 2 years,
I didn't say it was. I didn't say it was.
The anger has been so like.
What I'm saying,
so much more subdued.
What I'm saying is that if that's not the atrocity that's going to make you upset,
there's something else.
There's another atrocity for us. There's so much shit for us to be mad about that we either have to focus on one thing to be pissed about or just be generally angry. Because like, and that's how they see us, is generally angry. But it's not like we're not generally oppressed.
Winter Soldier said a good line about it. They didn't do anything with the line.
First of all,
because they're Disney.
First of all, I'm not gonna lie. I've been enjoying Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I have been enjoying
just because they touch on shit that Disney as a racist company would never touch on previously.
Yes,
and they just be like, motherfucker, and I be like, yo. Expound upon that, please.
It's very the showrunners are doing the next Captain America movie, so expounded upon. Oh no, are you serious?
No. I'm not against it. I'm not against it. But the problem that I have though is like if they're doing the next Captain America movie, and I feel like at this point like they should do the shit like Star Wars does, where like. Everything Star Wars is run through the same director and producer at this point. I do. Because he is taking it in an amazing direction. What's his name, like Filiani or something like that? I forget his name.
Oh no, he's the guy.
He's the fucking
Dave Filoni.
He's the dude from
Feloni not.
Yeah.
No. They're working together. It's Iron Man dude, which I can't remember his name now. Happy Hogan. Y'all know who he is. Happy. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are doing incredible things with Star Wars, they should have been in charge of the trilogy.
I mean,
Rian Johnson did a good job. I'm gonna say it. I liked the second one. I liked it more than the first and the third.
Yo, not gonna lie, that scene with the Dora Milaje, that shit. My favorite part was she just broke this nigga's arm off. Oh, hit him with some Neji type shit.
Yes! 8 trigram 64 Wakandans.
And broke his shit,
that shit clean out the socket. Yes.
And it be the little shit that happened after that, right? Like, fuck, walking up to did you notice she could do that? No. Let me pick this motherfucker up
on the shield and catching it in the air. Like,
right, yo.
My shit.
Yo. It's dope as shit, yo.
Like I said, they're getting their own show now.
I know.
I'm so excited.
Here's the thing, though, like, not everybody needs their own show.
Ooh, what do you mean? No, it's the same one you were talking about.
Oh,
I didn't see it.
Oh, no, it's just like, I feel like at some point it becomes, she took that shit, yo.
Up, down, left.
She straight raging demon that nigga's arm, yo. Like, square, left, right, square, R1, R square. Yo,
She raging demon that nigga's arm. But I just feel like
fucking Black Panther
like
symbol
I
on her
get
back.
that like certain things are big for Disney. Like Marvel is big for Disney. Star Wars is big for Disney. And I'm thoroughly enjoying all of it, but not technically everything needs a show.
I agree. Bad Batch is a waste of a fucking Star Wars show.
I won't say
Bad Batch is a waste
I won't say
of
that.
a Star Wars show, son. We watched the Clone Wars already. The 2 Clone Wars movies
That is true.
and the 2 Clone Wars shows.
So-
we already
so-
did
so-
all of this.
So Bad Batch should not be an entire series, but I would not be mad at it being its own standalone hour and a half movie.
Like a mini.
Yeah, like a mini.
If
like
we-
a mini.
if-
But I don't
if-
need a full series of
if
Bad
they
Batch.
gave us
Like shorts, 10-minute shorts.
I'd love it.
like the original Clone Wars was,
And
the
you-
Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars.
Right. If the Bad Batch
Primal?
if the Bad Batch was a commercial for the Ahsoka Tano show, I'd be like, yo.
I would enjoy 30 minutes of like snippets of Bad Batch,
Nah.
and then they end with Ahsoka.
I
can do an Ahsoka
I need
show.
10-minute like stretches of the Bad Batch, or maybe like
Okay.
5, and then like space
5
it
minutes,
out.
6
Space it out.
5-minute joints
Yeah,
to get at the end of the Mandalorian episodes.
Right, space it
That
out.
would've been
bro.
great.
Space it out. They don't need their own show though.
They don't.
But like
That's
they
that.
yeah, they don't need their own show.
We said that's the first show. Bad Batch. Oh. This is
Like they were in like what? Like they had about a 6-episode run, and you guys were like, "Yeah, this is the way to go." Out of all the other shit y'all could have done,
you're not giving me the Werewolf Jedi, but you're giving me Bad Batch, bro.
like
We still didn't get Homeboy with the fucking sea dreadlocks as
Yeah.
a show.
so. I mean, out of all the shit you're doing, like I feel like there's.
I don't have an Anakin show.
This is what I was about to
I
get
don't
to.
have a Vader
Why-
show.
Why is there
and I
not a
have
Vader
Bad
show?
Batch.
Why is there not an early Vader show, bro?
Have you read the Vader comics?
No.
Oh
I don't read
my
comics.
god, Vader
First
is
of all, Vader is the nigga regardless. And
He
I
is.
love the fact that Vader's presence in fucking everything is the same, bro. Like he has that same presence in
that
everything.
you got to read the comics. There was a whole
Bruh.
a whole platoon of rebels that showed up and they're like, "Well, stand down, we have you surrounded." All I'm surrounded by is dead men and corpses.
I have
Yes.
never known a scarier nigga on a fucking nebulizer, bro. Cause that motherfucker, yo, he get the breathing in that shit, whole air change. I've never been scared of a nigga with asthma. Like that nigga, yo. He be like,
You walking down a corridor and you hear,
like legit in real life? Yo. Yo.
out, dog.
I hear that shit. Yo, you hear that shit? Nope.
No,
That's
you hear it the one time and just
nope. Nah, I'm good, bro. I'm
And then
good.
get
I'm
yoked
good.
up.
I'm not even stopping, bro. I'm gonna keep walking. Like I got to go, fam.
Yeah.
Yo,
Vader is
Vader.
Vader definitely deserved
Shout out to James Earl Jones.
Vader
What's
over
up to guy
Obi-Wan every day. Vader
Every
over
day.
Obi-Wan Kenobi
every
every
day.
day.
Every day. Vader over everyone. Vader versus everybody, bro. Fuck
Yo,
that.
I would.
If they named the show Vader versus everybody, I'd watch the fuck out of that.
I'm trying to think of like who I think would beat Vader. Like I saw the. Did you see the superpower beatdown where Batman beat Vader?
It wouldn't happen.
It was the most
Would never
bullshit.
happen.
It was the most bullshit I ever
Would
seen.
never happen.
How he have a lightsaber? It was the most bullshit I
See,
ever
here's
seen.
the thing, right?
Ever seen.
Like it's hard to do that when you placing him against other type of series because, like, it's science fiction, but it's very limited. You know what I'm saying? It's like he doesn't have godlike powers.
I mean, but he could definitely crush a Batmobile.
for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure.
Bruce
Don't-
has nothing against the force grip. Like
You won't even look at.
I'm pretty sure if Vader wanted to, he could probably pull the fucking moon down. But what I'm saying is that like it's not Superman level powers. I don't even know if Superman breathe air. Can you force choke a nigga who don't breathe air?
He could crush lungs inside Superman's body. Oh, can he?
So like
I was like, yeah, he could just crush his heart.
I've
Wait.
never liked the scenarios where they take people from one set and juxtapose them into another one because it's not fair because they're not built on the same scales.
I do because what I always assume is whoever has the higher power, we're working at their level.
Well, then that's automatically gonna win though. Like that's why nobody can beat Goku. Like, nobody ever
But
beats
see,
Goku.
here's the thing. I think a well-placed Silver Surfer would beat Goku because Goku likes to lose and then come back and win.
Silver Surfer gonna let you come back.
Silver Surfer hasn't let many people. He doesn't let many people come back. And that's the shit. Like, Goku would beat Superman because Superman lets people come back. Like, Superman hasn't murdered any of his major enemies.
Right.
Lex Luthor is still running around. So yeah, Goku's gonna power back up and beat Superman. But like Wonder Woman. like Wonder Woman who's Wonder Woman's nemesis? Exactly. Because she killed that nigga. Issue 3 of her first comic. Right?
Let's go ahead and get the shit
Put Ares' head on a spike. Like, all right, who's next?
Women are efficient. Like, they're like, you know what? We ain't got to deal with this no more. Oh, what is that? Vader's weakness is someone who has the high ground. First of all, that's Anakin's weakness. Vader doesn't have that fucking weakness. Still force grip your ass off that shit.
Remember, Vader's like 9 feet tall now.
Like Vader,
he's always got the high ground.
Vader learned the lesson. Instead of trying to jump up there, I'm gonna force grip your stupid ass
your bitch ass down.
Right, you're coming.
Yo, that would have been a different fight if Vader had force choke back then.
He's like, I have the high ground, stupid.
You got your fucking ass. That's what you got.
Whole nother conversation at that point, right? Like he's learned his lesson, bro. Like Vader's all time, bro. I don't like the way that they ended him in like the original series, but like they really have to know what the fucking way to do it, bro.
Yeah.
Like it was like, what the fuck else are you gonna do? It's fucking
there wasn't anybody who could like fight Vader.
Like even now,
I think Vader. I still think Vader should have been redeemed. I think Star Wars would have had a.
He technically did get redeemed though.
Nah,
he technically got redeemed because he's technically the one who defeated the Emperor because he threw him down. But
I want Jedi Master Anakin Skywalker.
I don't.
With the robot arms and the breathing machine still.
I want Gray Jedi Anakin. I don't want Jedi.
Okay.
I don't want Jedi Council Anakin. I want Gray Jedi. I want Gray Jedi Anakin the same way we get Gray Jedi Ahsoka.
I would have liked Jedi to have the same exact role that Luke had in the sequels, in the new trilogy.
Yes.
Like if they went to a different planet and like an old rusted like barely moving his right arm as Vader
I feel
showed up, and then he showed up to the final fight like all like lubricated and ready.
Lubricated.
It's lubricated.
Fuck?
He's a robot.
What
all right.
the fuck?
I would have liked that. Like I think that would have hit more than Luke, because who wanted to see old, decrepit, defeated ass Luke Skywalker? Like that was on nobody's wish list.
Yeah, Vader's got interns. Vader's got lifts in his shoes.
As somebody who needs inserts, shut the fuck up. Me, Tom Cruise, and Robert Downey Jr. said shut the fuck up. All right?
So they don't have to worry about it because they angle their
They
camera.
they got lifts. Have you ever seen Robert Downey Jr. shoes?
No.
They're like this thick at the bottom.
That's what you gotta do, bro. To get that 6 feet, bro, you gotta do what you gotta do. You just gotta start changing the angle of the couch chat.
I'm gonna wear platform Timbs.
Look, so what you need to do, like for couch chat, just need to put some extra cushions underneath this motherfucker, so this side of the couch is elevated a little bit higher, and I'll slump more.
I was like, hey, what up? So they don't see the hip. Let me bring the camera in so it's just right here.
Upper body.
Yeah, that's gonna be a double cam show. We gotta have cameras from different directions. This one's gonna be angled up.
I don't like the way you said double cam show. It made me feel awkward.
It does sound strange, don't it?
It made me feel awkward as fuck.
Because I said it and I felt weird about it, and then like I was just like, nah, I'm gonna just rock.
It's a double cam show. Excuse me.
That sounds like OnlyFans.
Right. I didn't know you started that. I didn't know where you were going with
Look, we talked about it a few weeks ago. I don't know which episode it was.
Bad too. Like, we didn't talk about it in OnlyFans. We talked about you starting
about my OnlyFans. We talked about my OnlyFans.
Couch chat is devolving. Is it time to go?
Man, it's 2.5 hours, and our editor's calling it a night, dog. Right. It's been great, Couch Chat. Thank you for showing up week after week after week. Mr. 110 has been here.
You know,
he's always great.
2 in a row, bro.
2 in a row. Yo, I appreciate that shit.
I'm gonna make it 3 because we still have to do the same topic. So I'll be here next week.
Well, next month or next week is supposed to start our May month, and we're melanating May. And we can still do the same topic, but I really wanted to do monsters in May. Black monsters.
Like May 1st type shit? That is May 1st, isn't it?
That is May 1st, shit. I don't know if May 1st counts. I feel like May 1st is
Nah, it's fine. It's fine. I just feel like the topic that
the
we
topic
had
is
that
so
we
good.
Get to.
You don't have to. You can hold on because I'm out of town May 1st. So.
Oh, all right. So bet we'll stick with the same topic May 1st. and then come back to Monsters next week or the following week.
You got a wife?
Yeah, I have a
You
life.
You do more than just couch chat, nigga? You invisible motherfucker.
Right, like you're
invisible
not even
niggas
on
don't
couch
wanna-
chat,
right.
and now you're like you're not gonna be
Right,
on couch
like,
chat. What
you
kind of
know,
shit
you-
is that?
Like, why you can't do your job from out of town, nigga?
Access to the same shit.
Oh, see, that's some white people shit. Like, oh, you're going on vacation? Well, can you bring your
What can
laptop?
you?
Do you mind checking your email?
If you don't mind checking, yo. So I was supposed to check my email yesterday during Mortal Kombat.
Boss who won't pay for a VPN, so I can't do my job.
Oh, damn, right. He is.
I don't even get paid.
I'm
Me
sorry.
neither.
That brings us back to a very important point. Hey, follow us on Twitch so we can start getting tips. So I can start paying our staff.
Twitch.
We have a team right now that we're using.
It don't hurt y'all to follow us on Twitch, YouTube, like Instagram.
Twitch, YouTube, Instagram. I know everybody who I'm talking to is my one Facebook audience member. So follow us on everything. Duh.
First of all, if you make it this far and watching a replay, this motherfucker, I salute you.
That should be
I
paying you.
salute you.
Like, you are.
I appreciate you and everything that you stand for in every capacity.
Oh, who's our usual guest? Shouts out to Tamara. Shouts out to Nix.
Tamara. Nix.
Who else be watching?
I stay watching. Shout out to AJ.
Shout out to AJ. Shout out to Jarnay. She be watching every so often. Shout
to Ed.
Shout out to Jay and Nate for being guests today. Shout out to Ed for always
always
no being here
bullshit,
for the
right?
couch chat.
Let's be no bullshit, right? I like how people like chime in and shit like that. But if you really want to do a motherfucker solid, you know, why don't you share this motherfucker?
Yo, commenting is great, but sharing is better. More people that watch this is more people who are going to watch.
Just think of it this way, right? Would you rather comment on a threesome or sharing a threesome? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just what would you rather
trying
do?
to comment, you trying to participate.
Would you rather thumbs up a threesome or would you like to share in a threesome? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Look, with the weird sex things that we were talking about a few minutes ago, this is not like this is not ideal, though. We were just talking about OnlyFans.
You right. I'm about to go home and hit my girl with a hey big head.
Then you got to.
Hey,
You gotta
what
hit.
you doing,
You gotta
mama?
send that to her on the bridge.
Like, right. Like, where your drawers at?
What you doing tonight?
Take this shit soft, baby.
What you doing tonight? Where you at?
Oh, yeah. I like that shit. Yeah. All right, anyways, right?
Promos. Quick promos before we head out. Catch us. We're going to have to move it. I'm actually moving it to August.
I know you are.
Shit, are you ready for Pokemon next month? Because I'm not.
No, nigga.
Exactly.
I be bullshitting with you, bro. I ain't trained the first Pokemon. I am not trying to be the very
We are
best.
we're moving the Pokemon League Tower to August.
Sorry. Niggas got lives.
I was saying
Shit.
to better pad out our months.
Right.
All of my kids' birthdays are between June, July. My little mama, who's in December, is right next to Christmas. So everybody else's gifts I gotta get in that little month, and that's not gonna work. I can't be worried about training Pokemon and battling y'all
Giggity.
if I also gotta worry about being a dad.
Right. Right.
So
It takes
due
a
to
lot.
dadding,
Because I told you, none of my niggas is deadbeats. Like, I don't know where you find these niggas that y'all
all
having
these
kids
deadbeat
with.
ass friends y'all talking about, I don't understand.
Right. If you got a deadbeat father, add him in the comments, and we'll talk to him.
We will talk to
and
that
he'll no
nigga.
longer be a deadbeat unless you just ain't shit baby mother. But now we're devolving like a motherfucker at this point.
We have the
So,
the promo is done. Catch the Tidewater Pokemon League on Facebook. Facebook group Tidewater Pokemon League.
Right.
That is where you can find the Tidewater Pokemon League Battle Tower and information on when we'll be hosting. Shouts out to the Game One Gaming Center. I'm not going to say more than that.
right.
Thank you all for joining. This has been another.
Go follow We Are Cusp on Instagram.
Yes.
Jay was cool enough to come hang out with us for a little while. Go show her some love. Go hang out with her. See what she's got going on, because she's fantastically black and every other adjective black.
We Are Cusp is we are keeping us safe and protected.
Is that what that shit stand for?
Yeah, keeping us safe and protected.
She ain't tell me that.
She did. She just said
Damn.
we are. She just said Cusp. We'll follow Cusp.
I thought we were on the cusp of something. I didn't know.
We're on the cusp of being safe and protected.
Fair enough. Let me go follow this.
Yeah, yo. Follow Cusp. Keep your eyes out for the Titans Battle of Two Worlds.
I believe it was. Man, I'm part of it, but I don't even like.
Keep your eyes out for a Titans fan film from Nate Lucas. That should be coming before the end of the summer. And you just blanket that shit.
Right. And just look out for your boy in places where he ain't supposed to be, but he gonna be any fucking way.
Yeah. If you need your COVID shots, yo.
Nah, man. Look, let's just want to stab y'all.
Call AJ if you're trying to get COVID shots.
If you want to get stabbed up, holla at your boy. That's all I got for you, really. But that's got
this is
absolutely nothing else to do with whatever other projects I'm working on.
That's another euphemism.